Give them them numbers.
Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
2,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
3,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
4,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8.
6,
6, 7, 8.
7,
7, 8.
8 right there.
8.
Say it again.
8.
Walk it on down.
7, 8.
Little bit lower.
7, 8.
Little bit
5, 6, 7,
lower.
8.
Come on, come on,
4,
come
5,
on.
6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
2,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You think people are really gonna watch this,
They ain't got nothing else to do.
right?
Word.
I ain't going on social media talking shit about TDS radio. I know that much.
My man, Coach Block.
What's up, cuz? How we living?
You're rocking with TDS Radio.
Get it, Kim. All right. She got a vision, and she want us to execute this vision.
Ooh, man. That's what TDS is about today.
Ken and Kim are the two dopest siblings that I know.
All right, man. You ready?
Am I ready? Are they ready? It's your man, Coach Block, one half of TDS Radio. And I'm here with my sister.
So bad.
Hey, what's going on? What's up, good people? Thank you. And we appreciate everybody who tuned in yesterday and who are continuing to like and share. Please like and share our shit. We work pretty hard. And
Lord knows.
if
Lord knows we do.
we have ever pissed somebody off to the point where you want to come on and talk about what we said,
You just don't stop.
come on in. Well, we can shoot you a link. You can come in live and plead your case. And I don't care who it is, about whatever it is. If something is wrong and I want to, okay, nigga, I want to, come on, spit your piece. Because this radio station / podcast is about positive African American movement. But we have laughs and we have jokes. And then we also will call some shit out if it needs to be called out. More so me than Kim.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're mad at anybody, go ahead and be mad at me. And let's get off some of the things that you're going to say first. Oh, you fat this. Okay, heard that. I'm losing weight. You bald this. She clowns me about that every day.
Because you're so cute. Like a potato.
So it doesn't, those things don't hurt me. So make sure you come right, because guess what? I can take it, but I can dish it.
Like, bitch, your wig is nappy. And is a new one comes tomorrow, girl.
She made herself laugh. Did you see that? It was a real laugh. At first it was
nappy wig hose. Right. Don't try that shit. Like, it's nappy. Okay, girl. A new one comes tomorrow.
Yeah, because they told Remy Ma, why is all her wigs stiff?
Oh.
Well, nobody likes her after what she did to Papoose. And I agree.
What the hell was that about?
I don't know. I agree.
I was so disappointed.
With her tight wig. What? Tight. I don't know what I said. And I don't care. Hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing? For everybody who has tuned in. Reason why I said that is because I know the person who we were talking about yesterday eventually is going to show up on this podcast because she got tagged, because you know how we are as people. Oh, they talk about you. And is. But we will give you an opportunity to get on the platform with us, which most people do not take, and let's voice your opinion from your side. Because we gave our opinion, so then let's hear what you got to say. Why would you talk about somebody's business before you yourself patronized it, is the question. Why would you have an opinion about something that you yourself have not encountered? Crazy work.
And stand 10 toes down in it.
Nope. Erased the comment. Said, I think that's what caused me to be like, don't do it. If you're going to say it, let it play. Because we let it play.
And we also have a story about that, about people not wanting to stand.
What is
10
the title
toes
of our
down.
video today?
Stand 10 toes down on your opinion.
Oh, well, then I'm right on what I said.
Yes, you are.
Okay,
Look at you.
I thought I was just carrying over from yesterday because it needed to be carried over. Because once you tag a person, it's like, oh, it's on. Bing, bing. King Petty versus everybody, because I don't care. Like I said, I'm 43. I probably had just about all the friends I'm going to have. And so you're just going to have to speak the piece.
Gabe, it is literally 6:10 and we're starting already.
What do you say?
We're starting already.
Oh, geez, Gabe. Yeah. I think I don't know. She's been tagged in the old stuff. So whoever's watching the old stuff, if they happen to be watching right now, which hopefully they do, then tag her here and then she can watch live and then we can put her on and we can see what happens. I know this though, and this is what I've always been told. You can never compete with the person who controls the microphone. So you can get on and start talking crazy and all we got to do is mute you and then go in, because that's what they do on radio shows. And they used to do that with Howard Stern. When he would start talking crazy about people, they hit the mute button. And then now we're still, and then can't nobody hear you.
Right.
It's just a whole bunch of mouth movement.
Then they're going to jump to the comments.
Yeah. Then the comment section starts to light up. And maybe that's what we need to get things moving, because we work pretty damn hard. And every now and again, we might just have to get ratchet on people.
That's a lot of energy.
And I tried to erase your comment yesterday, Gabe, and it did not work. So it is still there, brother. You might have to go back and do it yourself because it's there.
That tickled me for the whole entire
crazy work. All right. But so shout out to everybody who's doing positive things. Shout out to all your entrepreneurs. Shout out to people who just went to work and got off, and shout out to people who's going to work. Second shift sucks. So big shout out to second shift. I can do third shift any day over second shift. Second shift feels like you just working your life away, because everybody be like, oh, I'm off. And you're like, I'm just going in. Third shift, at least you've had a whole day. Now you're like, oh, I'm not going to get through this. I ain't had no sleep. But second shift, So God bless everybody who works second shift, especially those people who deliver packages and make sure they're on time for Amazon. Even though them niggas be slipping around my crib.
What you mean?
They don't be on the times that they say.
For real?
No.
Oh man, the people around my house. Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't ever catch them because I want to catch him like, yo, sup? He gonna be like, sup?
Right, you got your package.
I'm like, yo, man, it's not the time. I mean, you got it.
Right.
Nah, it ain't the time. Don't do that. I had one dude that was in the community. I don't know if he had one house that had a lot of packages. I'm like, this van ain't moved. You know how you can check to see if it did not move. It was like 20 minutes. He was at one crib. I'm like, I should tell your woman. I'm snitching because you ain't in that house 20 minutes delivering. Well, maybe you are delivering a package, but it ain't the package that you're supposed to be. You here 20 minutes on a stop. Your ass probably got fired.
What the hell were you waiting for that you were just so impatient that you were watching the truck?
See, now see, I'm about to get you. I was waiting on the needles to be able to take my medicine. Now that's funny, ain't it? So now I can't take my damn medicine. See, yeah, about to get your ass. What you waiting and so impatiently for? Okay, I'm about to die. My sugar's high. My goddamn needles from my medication. Bow. Boom. And this ain't even this. I'm not even lying. I'm like, man, where is this? I done ran out.
Nigga, I'm dying.
Yeah. I'm looking at my sugar level go through the roof right now, bro. Where you at? I was tempted to go to the area he was at. Like, bro, can I just get my shit off the truck? Damn. I'm late. And I know it's my fault I waited to the last minute,
Right.
but the time said it was going to be there before 11. And I'm looking at like 1:45. I'm like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. The levels is going to go up. See, got you. What are you waiting for?
Like, what are you so patient?
Okay.
Was it life or death? And it was.
It
life or
was.
death.
It is.
But moral of the story, you got your needles.
Got them.
Yeah.
Late.
Well, you know, but you got them.
Oh, birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
All right. While people are probably laughing at my diabetic joke, that shit ain't funny. Waiting for them needles and they out there playing around.
You can always share the wealth
Of what?
your medication.
You don't want to take that. I'm trying to tell you. Birthdays. Today is the 7th.
Yes.
Okay. I don't have a lot. I have Latal Bremage, that's former player I used to coach. Kimberly D. Who's Chop Burnell? I don't know who Chop Burnell is, but he's 49.
Burnell.
Yeah. And then Crystal Harris. Happy birthday to everybody. And yeah, that's all the list I have of birthdays today. So let's go into our happy birthday song.
All right.
All right.
Y'all ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Well, you look good. You look good. You look fine. You look fine. We hold you at a good time. Happy birthday to you. Hey, happy birthday to you.
And as the saying goes, continue to live your life in a way that makes every day worth celebrating from the siblings. Did you hear about what Paramount is doing with our movies?
No.
That they're slowly starting to take certain movies out of archives, and it's majority black movies.
No.
Yeah, you got to read up on it, man. And it makes me think about when we said that Sinbad, everybody on Earth is like, yo, Sinbad played Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
And like everybody is convinced of this.
That it happened.
That it happened.
He said it didn't happen.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me wonder, like, was that a situation where like that movie just was one of those type of things where poof, gone, and then now he can't speak about it? Because now it's starting to come back up again, like, yo, this nigga played this role.
Right.
And I swear he did. I swear there was a movie
yes.
Shazam with him as a genie.
I thought I had the tape.
So, and then that's the other thing, though, because he did say, well, if it exists, why hasn't anybody produced it? Meaning, like, where's the actual physical evidence? And somebody got to have it, because we all can't be crazy.
Yeah.
And if that is the case, then think about what other things have been erased from our minds. Like, what? This is crazy.
The whole Mandela effect thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, there you go with intelligent references for me not being as intelligent. Speaking of effects,
Shut up.
I am going to say something, and I probably should have said it when we had a lot of people watching, because whenever I talk, people go away unless I'm ranting. I want to ask y'all opinion. There's some people watching. When I was a head coach, I had a heckler. And this heckler, I mean, every opportunity he got, he had something smart to say. And the high school football season in North Carolina is upon us, starting on Friday.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. Now, this heckler happened to get my job. This heckler is the head coach of Enloe. All right. He was my biggest heckler. Once he got the job, he erased all the things that he heckled about. So I couldn't screenshot it to be able to prove and show y'all that but the people who know that he was my biggest heckler. He always had something derogatory to say. Well, he's had the job now for about 4 years, maybe even 5. 4. This is probably 4 going into 5th year. He still doesn't have more wins than me. Am I wrong for heckling him now? Because think about somebody who, let's say you got a job, right? And there's somebody telling you they can do your job better than you. Then they get the job, and for years, they've never lived up to the expectation. Would you say something? Would you just peek in every now and again and have big eyes on something that he posts, or like? Because I feel like, because I'm not coaching this year, so I feel like I should be petty to those who were once petty to me. It's only right.
But don't you feel like that person is already getting their karma?
No.
Okay.
Because people are hiding this, right? They're hiding the fact that this man talked cash money shit on me. I mean, I'm talking about cash money.
Okay. I would be at every game.
So I planned on it. I planned on going to the games this year.
And like Jay said, she was going back to Shazam. She was like, I thought Shaq was a remake.
Right. That's what I'm saying. This existed. So y'all go out and check out the Paramount thing. Google it, because literally Paramount's like starting to get rid of old antiquated movies of ours, like to where they're not even going to be available to stream. But it's like, but why?
Why? What's the point?
So if they did it now, then it's a possibility that they did it then. But the only issue with that is nobody actually has the video. Usually somebody would have the video and be like, here's the proof. Nobody even has the proof. But everybody has seen a movie that allegedly didn't exist.
Right. Crazy.
But yeah, so back to the heckler. I want to heckle him in a way that makes him uncomfortable. And only because you heckled me. Now, I want to keep it between he and I. Because remember, this is the guy when I told y'all some time ago, I cussed him out so bad that his dad told me, like, you didn't have to cut. It's that guy. So I'm thinking, I'm talking to people about football, and I'm like, well, he's been doing pretty well, Somebody said, man, he ain't got more wins than you. What? Because I haven't been paying attention. And I'm thinking, by now, you year 4, year 5, you should have more wins than me. I did it in 3 years. My record was 17-17 in 3 years, which at Enloe was phenomenal. That I don't think he's eclipsed 10 in 5 years.
That's pretty sad.
4 years. What's going on? And so the funny part is he still has a job. How do you still have a job and you're my successor and you haven't nothing?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't feel like that's his karma because he talks so much shit, and now you can't even live up to who the previous person was beforehand.
Nah, because see, with us, nobody speaks about it. Like, here's another thing. Okay. So last year, the coach that I coached with, the one that said he wants to ruin me, right? And wherever I coach at, he's going to try to ruin it. That guy that thinks he has that much power. Last year, I fought for a kid to be my quarterback. I was the offensive coordinator. For those who don't know, who may be watching, the offensive coordinator is the person who calls the plays and sets up, everything that's going to happen with the offense. But if you don't have a good quarterback to do that with, it doesn't make a difference what you got. You got to have at least an average quarterback. Well, I fought with the head coach about who the quarterback should be. I have faith in a sophomore, little kid, similar to Jaden, right? So he's a little kid, but he wasn't necessarily like big and strong. But I looked at it as it's a 2-year thing. Put him in the system, let him learn it, run the ball more, only make him throw when he has to. And then by that time, he'll have the experience. And next year, he's gonna be ready.
Okay.
They said he's too short. He can't. I said, but y'all gotta understand, I'm coaching him. If I coach him, he can. Well, he ain't gonna grow. He might. His whole family is at least 6 foot and above.
Oh wow!
So he give him some time. He gotta have a growth spurt. Only for somebody to call me and say, guess who the starting quarterback is? The kid that I trusted last year.
Did he have a growth spurt?
He had a growth spurt. Guess how tall he is? 6 foot. See,
I be knowing.
There's certain things that I know, right? What did Gabe say? I can't see.
Under
What
10
did-
and 5 and still have a job sound like an inside job.
It was an inside job. You're right.
I would be like, so how the job going? Oh, so when you win, like you said.
Yeah. Oh, because he talked crazy, y'all. When I tell you he talked crazy. So then now, this is the other thing. So now the new coach that's there, who knows nothing about me, the new coach who has the job at the school, knows nothing about me. And I liked it. I like it that way. Now you don't know who I am, and that's cool. Do you, bruh? Like, I don't want to be one of those people where, you know, I cast a shadow where people be like, so what do you think? Nope, I'm not that type of guy. I like to see how a coach moves and then compare to how I'll move. Damn near every move I made, I wanted to make last year, he's making this year. But the loser coach who didn't know how to coach people, the one that's gone now, he none of those moves he wanted to make. So you'd rather go down saying I'm right than think about how to develop athletes. So I'm proud of the person who has the job because now he's developing athletes. It's a good job. But I'm really excited about the fact that I told y'all that the little dude was ready. He was ready last year. Football's a mentality. I coached, he was about the same size as Jaden when Jaden played. And we all know Jaden was little as hell. But you got to make adjustments to keep him safe. And when you can run the ball, that helps a lot. But what he's getting is game time experience.
Right.
You have to be ready for that when a lot of kids are not ready. They think they're ready for that when the Friday night lights hit.
Right.
But
And the
then,
jitters and all that.
but then when they ain't really played it, and then now they turn around and they looking at you with their eyes this big, and you're like, run the play, and they all of a sudden don't know. You got to try to get them as experienced and acclimated as quickly as possible. It's like diving in a pool. It ain't cold after you get acclimated to it and your blood gets going. So I just want to say I was right again. And I know people don't like when I'm right. And I've been told, man, you are a sore winner. It's because I've been told I was wrong so many times, only for people to double back and do the shit that I said could be done, but did not say, my bad, man, you was right. It's crazy. So I want to take this time on my platform, because you don't have to watch it, to say I was right. And another thing I was right on.
Which was?
Down here in North Carolina, there is a surge, which it may be other places, of trainers, right? And here in this area, they don't want you to be a trainer and a coach.
Okay.
They don't want you to appeal to the public and draw people to you into your school. They consider it cheating. You're recruiting kids. So there was something that I had said publicly, and I stand by it. Not because it's derogatory towards the person. It's about the situation. And what I said was, down here in North Carolina, they don't want to see you as a brother be a trainer and connect with the kids and a coach. They don't like it. Because what happens is all the kids eventually want to be around you. And so you don't have to do anything but train the kids and teach them and mentor with them. That's all you have to do. But then you'll notice that that's what you do. And then here all of a sudden comes the kids. They move where you're at.
You built the relationship.
You built the relationships. The gentleman who's now the head coach at Enloe is the recipient of the work that I've done. Why? Because me coaching the kids, the parents thought Coach Block is going to be the head coach. But during COVID, a lot of communication broke down as far as extracurricular activities because nobody really knew that was if we were going to play or not. Well, I stopped coaching at COVID. So people thought I'm going to this school, and the anticipation was I got Coach Block.
Coach Block, right.
So when they got there and didn't see Coach Block, and then my number changed, because I got tired of receiving the calls. My number changed, and then they go, well, then who is this guy? Because they thought Kennedy was going to have a job. And they thought, then they seen a guy who has never played football before on any level. Crazy work. I got replaced by a guy who never played football on any level. To make it even worse than not playing football on any level, he was literally the ball boy, water boy of the football team while he was in school. Sickening when you think about what we're really talking about. But what I was right about was a brother that I know had to take an L because he was too successful off of the field. His personality and who he was as a person was so strong that other people gravitated to it, and ultimately it became a problem.
Mm-hmm.
People try to make it seem like it's anything else, and it's not. That is specifically what it is. Mm-hmm. As a black guy, as a black man, you are not allowed to exceed the expectation of those who hire you. Mm-hmm. Think you should. They want to put you in this box. Here you go, boy. This is the box that I want you to operate in. Then when you start to become bigger than the box and say, well, I'm out. I'm pushing myself out of the box. Now here they go saying, well, no, this is where we want to cap you. Mm-hmm. And so I said that, hey man, from sitting in the seat that I've sat and being able to gravitate and have relationships with people, you're either going to be a coach or a trainer. These good old boys are not going to let you do both. And they clipped one of the guys that are a good guy in the game. They fired him from, I won't say the school because it'll tell everybody who I'm talking about specifically, but they clipped him. And when they clipped him, he was the only person who took the L. Not the head coach, not anybody else, just him. And that's effed up. Mm-hmm. And the reason why it's so effed up is because nobody, and I mean nobody, is talking about it. Not even him. And the reason why you can't talk about it is because then you'll get blacklisted.
Right.
Ask me how I know. Because Wake County don't like me.
Right.
There's a whole letter in my file in the county about this dude, as if I was pillaging through kids and having domestic problems like some of the people who I worked with.
Wow. Okay. All right.
I mean, it's just facts. Public information. You can Google who the athletic director was and notice that he's no longer the athletic director. So the athletic director who had it out for me is no longer the athletic director. And you can find out why. It's public knowledge.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Oh, loving it. Loving it. Because you know why? Our kids need people in education who put them first. Mm-hmm. At times, I understand the politics play a part because you got to have order and you have to have rules. But I promise you guys, in athletics, in academics, sometimes not having the proper people in these booster club meetings or board meetings and things like that where decisions are made for your children's education, you get the wrong people in positions that don't put children first, but put whatever their agenda is first. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I am a person that, damn my agenda, how are we going to best service these kids?
Yes.
And most of the people that I know that I've coached with or that I've watched train, they care about the kids first. Mm-hmm. What I have learned is rarely do people give a damn about that. They want to make sure you're following policy because most people have an agenda for themselves to elevate themselves. So you worrying about the kids can mess things up because it's not always about the kids and policy. When you're saying, I'm leading with my heart. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, let's say a kid is hungry in the cafeteria. Depending on who that cafeteria manager is, if they go by policy, they can't specifically give kids food if they're hungry. Mm-hmm. So they'll take a tray of pizza or a tray of hamburgers, a tray of chicken sandwiches, and know that the kid is hungry and throw it in the garbage rather than give the kids the food.
Right.
Because that's the policy. But you have people who depend on school lunches. So why wouldn't you just give the kids the food that you're about to throw? You're throwing it away.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or even if that is a so-called policy, put the sandwiches in a bag and just put it in the trash and be like, hey, y'all.
I asked that specifically. Can you put the sandwiches, wrap them up, put the sandwiches in a garbage bag and set them on a table next to the garbage and then just walk away?
Right.
And then the sandwiches will just happen to be missing.
Right.
I had somebody when I was at Enloe, the cafeteria manager was cool like that. So like he would say, hey man, could you do me a favor? I left some pizzas in the oven. Could you go cut that oven off? And that let me know, take
Go
those
get it,
pizzas.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey yo, man, I left some sandwiches, I think by the trash, man. You still got your key? Yeah, could you throw those away for me? Because I left. Go get those sandwiches. Because all I'm gonna do is throw them away. But policy tells you you can't feed a kid because if a kid gets sick and then everybody's so afraid to get sued.
Right. Well, I mean, that's just like with restaurants, why they throw away their food at night and won't donate it to homeless shelters because all it takes is one person to set the example. And then now it's like they're so afraid, like you said, of getting sued that they're just like, forget it, just throw it away.
Yeah.
But some will do that. They'll, like you said, carefully place it next to the trash can.
Yeah.
Just so people can go ahead and do it, but there's no liability.
Right. And so that's me. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel bad because the one brother that I'm speaking of, he cares about those kids. Kids first. He was shining a light on an area that the light is shine, but he was making it brighter. And it's not right to be the only person to take an L when everybody else is benefiting from it. Everybody else is benefiting from it, and then nobody talks about it. It just goes away. That ain't right. And so for people like myself, people like that brother, I feel like somebody should say something, because why do we have to keep taking it? Because here's what I know. Here's what I see. I see other people do it and nobody bats an eye. But when you start making light of kids in the way that we can do it, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a difference of how you connect with kids, and we connect with kids that identify with situations that we've gone through a little differently than those people who are told how to connect with us. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference, because I'm not just saying it as a black or white thing, because there are white people who grow up in certain poverty situations who can identify with the fact that we ain't have it that easy. You see what I'm saying? So then now this is working for this goal is different for me because of how I grew up. Not everybody has a silver spoon. And so you can relate to certain kids that way. Makes it a better environment. Needless to say, got rid of my guy. Now he's coaching again at another school, which is good, but he's not at the position he was at. You see what I'm saying? So he took a back seat, and it's not right. You know what I'm saying? No different than a guy who heckles you. He's friends with the athletic director. They find a way to manipulate the system to get you out, which happened to be because other brothers who were in the school helped him with it. Because, you know, we always got somebody wearing Kenny Pickett jerseys to help
There you go.
try to bring another person down. We always got them. They always helping.
Leave Kenny Pickett out of it.
Right. Then now you get the job and realize that them shoes are so big you can't fill them. And now who suffers? The children. Because now not as many of them are going to school like they were before when I was there. We were kicking kids in the school left and right. Now it's like one here, two there, and their parents are the ones doing the work.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes when situations like that happen, sometimes you just gotta let people feel that stuff. Because as you know, with my job, our karma was pretty instant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you just gotta let people feel it. It's like you could be petty, but nah.
I don't know if my spirituality has reached there yet. I'm working on it because
I appreciate your transparency.
And because you know why? Because until somebody said he ain't got as many wins as you, I was like, what? Because I'm assuming the best. Like, you got to have at least this. So somebody went and counted Man, he got less than 10. Less than 10 in 5 years. Oh, Lord. And you talked about me? See, like the way you handle Choice FM.
Nigga.
I said I'll say it. You ain't got to. I said I'll say it for you.
You're the worst.
I said I'll say
So
it.
you know.
Yeah, the way you handle Choice FM, I couldn't be you. I would every day I'm like, I got my own shit, my own shit. How y'all doing? Got my own shit, got my own shit. Like it would be every day.
I know it would be because you were petty.
It ain't so much petty. It's just
The principal.
how y'all did me. Don't do me dirty and then think I ain't never gonna say nothing again. Oh man. oh.
And I used to think that way, but now I'm just like, no, you know it.
See,
You know.
you are a good person. You are a good, and
Which is why I don't understand why I have the karma that I do. But you know,
and I'm and I am personally trying to get there. Matter of fact, one of our guests today with the healing consultant is my therapist.
I might have to talk about it real
Because
quick.
we're talking about triggers today, and we may need to discuss how easily triggered I was with that. So he what? He ain't got. Oh damn! Because you care about the kids and you work hard at doing that. And anybody who doesn't know, let me give you some perspective on coaching high school football in North Carolina. So the gentleman that they clipped, who has a great relationship for the kids, all right. At the most, at his position, he may be bringing in $4,000 to $5,000 for a year of coaching. So you don't coach for the money in North Carolina.
No.
In North Carolina, you are coaching for the love of the sport and the kids, and just scratching the itch that you may have because you can't play anymore. But is it worth it for $4,000 to $5,000 at the end of the day?
No.
You see what I'm saying? Like the criticism that you take, people not understanding what you go through. It's a 24-hour job. People who say that it's not, their lie. It's a 24-hour job. And you get paid less than minimum wage to perform this job. Because if you break down the hours that you put in, it's almost, we had calculated, it's almost like pennies a day. Because you're talking about $5,000 for an entire year.
That's terrible. Fuck that.
So as a head coach of Enloe, all the work I did at Enloe, the max that I made each year was $6,000.
Terrible. Absolutely not. I would quit every single day. Every day.
So you're not coaching because you love it. I mean, you're coaching because you love it. It's not that you're coaching because you want to deal with all the other stuff that comes with it. This is truly for everybody who's out there on Friday, when they go out there and start coaching this Friday. There's a little gnat in here. Just know nobody is getting paid for a season more than at the most $12,000, because longevity, your years, you occur years in it, so your pay scale does go up. But ain't nobody making more than $12,000, and that's a fact. So you figure less than minimum wage.
That's terrible.
And to be at the $12,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 mark, you got to be almost like 20 plus years.
Absolutely the hell not.
I promise you, I could show you the scale. Like if
Absolutely
anything
not.
that we need to be fighting for is teachers to get paid more money. And then for extracurricular activities such as like basketball, football, tennis, hockey, track, those sports that you see a lot of athletes getting opportunity to go to college. If you think it just stops when the high school season is over, you're crazy. There's so much training that goes into these sports for these high school kids, and you don't get paid a dime extra. Not a dime.
That's terrible.
So
Ain't
yeah,
no way. Ain't no way.
that and the stuff they want you to do. You want to know what a piece of the beef was that started between me and the former athletic director? I didn't want to cut the grass. He thought I thought too highly of myself, because who is you not to have to cut grass? I said, well, let's look at whose role it is.
Yeah.
And it's his, but you should just want to.
Why would I want to?
I don't just want to, because here's what I found out. You get paid to cut the grass. Now, if you paid me your stipend that you get to cut the grass, then I'll cut the grass.
Yeah.
You are not paying me to cut the grass. I should just be honored to cut the grass.
Get the hell out of here.
So once I told him that, all hell broke loose. You know what else they do down here in North Carolina? You know how the white lines are on the...
Mm-hmm.
You can either pay a company to do it, but some schools who don't have it in the budget, their coaches go out there and paint those lines on the field. So all the money that you fundraise, all that stuff that you do, there's still a coach. There's a coach on Friday that's going to get him a 6-pack and take the little white spray paint can, and it's a little thing that got wheels on it, and you...
Absolutely not. Absolutely the hell not.
For that small piece of change that they give you, that's what they want you to do. And so I was in shock. So when I got the job, I'm like, paint the lines. I come from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Everything is turf. We don't paint lines. And if we did paint lines, the athletic director handled that. Looked at me. You ain't. So you trying to tell me you won't paint the lines for your own field? No, I won't. You think too highly of yourself.
And you don't think highly of yourself for not doing what your job description is? You get paid to do this. So why are you trying to pin this off on me?
I love your fire, your vigor. So then I did that. And I said, now hold on. Wait a minute. This ain't my responsibility. And once again, this is why y'all can't never get me to turn my back on a sister. The only sister on the admin staff said, let me see that. She looked. Oh, that's not your job? No, ma'am, it's not my job. Then you're not doing it. Oh, but the principal who's at the top, who is ready to move on and looking at how he can elevate himself. Well, is there something that we can do? I'm not doing that. No. Well, why can't we just get a look? Because it's not my job. I'm not getting paid for that.
So you're telling me to compromise.
Yes.
And you want me to do what he wants me to do, but he gets paid for it and I don't.
Correct.
Tell me how that makes sense to you as an administrator.
I am so ready to tell these stories.
So then if I ask you as a principal to go to another school and you're not getting paid a dime for it, are you going to go do it?
No.
If I ask you to come to my classroom and teach my class when you don't get paid for it and it's not in your job description, are you going to do it? So I'm not cutting no damn grass.
I'm not cutting grass.
And I'm not putting any damn paint down.
Nah, and so this ain't. So I wasn't asked at Corneth Holders. The AD at Corneth Holders didn't ask me to cut grass.
Right.
This is Enlow.
No, I knew who you were talking
Yeah, this is Enlow. Now, I like Corneth Holders, so I don't have. The head coach had his problems, but I'm saying that Enlow, they asked me to do it. And I'm like, but why am I doing this? Like, for what? It's not in my description. Well, you should just be happy to do it. No. And here's what made me mad. And then we got guests. So we got guests today. This is why we're doing this. What made me mad was the soccer team, which the athletic director coached, used the football field more than us. We only had 4 home games on that field. He had girls soccer, JV soccer, varsity soccer for girls and boys on that football field. So they actually played more games than us. So then it was like, well, you should cut the field. No, you should cut the field. You got more games than me.
Oh, he's speaking up and saying that?
He's the one that told me I should have cut the field. And I told him, no, you got more games on it than I do. So why would I cut the field? So then he got mad because we were winning. So I had money. I'll pay somebody to cut the field.
Yeah. All right.
You can't do that.
Why can't we?
Because there's money that he's getting to cut the field. So how would it look if I'm paying somebody and he's getting paid to cut it?
Why am I having this conversation with you, sir?
Hey, that's why I'm not the coach at Enlow no more.
So
this is the stuff that people, this is behind the scenes. I'm trying to tell you, I could sit down and tell you a whole thing about what goes on behind the scenes of why it's like, it sometimes it's just not worth it. It is for the love, but sometimes when you are really about these kids and you don't have the Holy Trinity, the Trinity is the community, administration, and athletic director behind you, you are going to go through hell. Flat out, hands down. Bottom line. You have to have the Holy Trinity behind you. It does. If you don't have that Holy Trinity behind you, it's going to be bad. And it at a time, you know what I'm saying? I had it. And then it's down here. It's just so different. This is basketball country. The Hoopers is different. It's not football country.
Really?
No, really. Yeah. It's basketball down here. Hoops is primary, football is secondary on this side of the state. Yeah. But the bottom line is, should I to heckle or not to heckle is the question. Kim says, continue to take the high road and let karma continue to do what it do.
But don't listen to me. Like I said,
I think because you're handling things so great with choice.
But
I told you, especially after yesterday, I would have been like, what?
But internally, I probably suffer from ulcers. So you don't want to be like me.
True. Because you got to get it out. You got to get it out. You got to get it out. And I don't, it's not even so much, I don't want to embarrass the children either, because it's not their fault. You see what I'm saying? So like, that's what I used to tell him when he was heckling me. When you're heckling me, it's really the kids, because I'm not the one playing.
I guess that's where it's different, because yes, what he did, you know, was sucky and emotions were high and you're arguing with a 26-year-old, you know, girl at the time, but it wasn't a carry on of anything. Like there was no bad mouthing me. There was no, you know, slandering or whatever.
Are you talking about him to me?
Yes.
Oh, yes, he did.
No. I'm talking about like our situations are different. So you have a little bit more of a reason to be like, I'm going to come at your neck. Whereas where mine was like, you did some shady shit, but we're also in a at-will state. So I can't get too mad. Then on top of that, like, this is your shit. So if you want to go ahead and fire someone, you have the ability to do so.
Yeah.
So, you know, as long as you don't, you know, badmouth me and say, oh, she wasn't shit, she didn't do, then we don't have any problems. But the moment people start talking and try to tarnish my image and my name or what it is that I've done, now we have a problem.
Man, there's a whole county doing that.
Yeah. So yes, if you feel like you want to speak out and heckle him and be petty, go for it.
Yay! Now I'm gonna do it because Kim said so.
Because I can't guarantee what I would have done if I was in your shoes.
It has been hard over the years to just watch it, and a lot of people are like, well, you know, you got so much going on. Yeah, but
it's still that
to watch it, to watch what you did to what I was doing. Oh, Lord, it hurts. Because I live in the community that the kids are in. I know these kids better than him because he don't live in the community.
And he doesn't care.
Right. So it's like, it's hurtful. You just be like, oh, God.
Cuz said, don't do it. Therapy has been doing you so good.
And see, this is something that we don't talk about in therapy. So that's why that we ain't touched this, because there's still a part of me that's like, ooh. I'm like, Gabe, I can't wait to go to the game and stand literally right behind the bench.
Nigga's gonna be like Homer Flanders.
And then, but see, the part that sucks about it is there are people that like, so the last time I went to a game, I'm thinking like, there are gonna be people that ain't really happy to see me. No, Coach Block was up, da, 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 da. And so they're expecting me to be cheering for Enloe. And I want the kids to succeed. I just don't want him to succeed.
But the one thing I will say is that your legacy and what you have done, you know, continues to live on. Because I did run into one of your colleagues and I told you, he was like, yeah, they've sucked ever since Block left.
It does. It you know, there's a few people that still be like, yo, would you ever go back? Nah, I would not go back to the school at all, because it's not the same. 2, being a head coach in high school now is so different because the kids have such a high level of entitlement, and you have to be careful of how you talk to these kids. Where we established how we communicated with these young people, and we established it with their parents as well. Not that it was derogatory, but it was very upfront. If you are not good, you're not good, but we're going to show you how to get better. Not we're going to lie to you and say, yeah, you good, or totally kill your self-esteem and be like, you're trash, get out of my face. That's the spot where a lot of parents appreciated what we did, because we turned kids that were average into above average, kids that were below average to average, kids who probably shouldn't have been on the field. At least they're happy to be a part. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody felt like, man, F him. Nobody. F that coaching staff. Nah, none of that. Like, so that was a hell of a rant. But
you feel better?
No.
Okay.
You know why? Because I wanted to be told where I actually expressed the situations in the detail with the people. Like, I'm ready to sit down in front of a camera and just start letting it roll, like part 1, part 2, part 3, because there are people who are sitting in positions right now because of that team, but then try to act like I don't F with block. And those people are the people that I'd be like, see you get what I'm saying? Like, there are people who have jobs now because of that team and have elevated themselves into other positions because of that team, because of advocating for other Black people. If I was just an ignorant brother, I wouldn't have advocated for you. And there's a lot of brothers who I put it to you like this. Nobody on that coaching staff besides GK did I know before I got the job. Every one of those people who are in that position, who were on that coaching staff with me, have elevated in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But they were hired as football coaches first, then introduced to the administration as coaches. But then look back at me like, block. What do you mean block?
Well, you know.
And if I ever get the chance to tell him, he gonna get told. There's gonna be a You Get Told tour.
Featuring you.
Yeah, featuring your ass. I think everybody needs a You Get Told tour.
Yeah, because there's a couple people that I want to just let loose on.
You get told, because don't mistreat me. But forget it was me that opened the door. I know for a fact there are multiple people I could be like, if I didn't open that door, but then you want to, I don't mess with him. I wish you would. It's taking everything not to do what people probably are watching, like, let it go. I'm not going to do it. And it's more than one. But when that time comes, man to man, face to face, there is going to be, what did I call the tour?
The You Got Told tour?
You Getting Told tour. We all need to have one. And you definitely do, because Lord have mercy, man. People be trying to dish. Like, they know you are good at your job, but because you're a woman and because you're Black and because you were young, people tried to throw shade. Only for you to say, now I just do it on my own and I've elevated, but y'all tried to throw shade. You handle that 10 times better than me, man. I go to sleep at night like, so how can I get this nigga back?
And trust me, like I said, I think it does stay in my head, but then I'm like, you know what? You're going to get your karma back. There's still one person in particular, because like I said, even, the fellow that we're talking about from Joyce, I'm not even bothered by it anymore.
Yeah, you had nice way. It really wasn't him. I'm like, it's everybody. Say it.
I'm not even bothered by that anymore. But there is one person in particular where I'm like, I would love to see the day that you suffer.
The get back tour, man. We all need it. Needs to be a get back tour. You need to be told. Some people need to be told. Yeah. Some people you get the high road. Some people you need to be told. Or some people you just need to be. I just want to position a mirror so you can see me looking at you like. I'm talking about prison style where you just stick it out there like this and you turn it so you can see me like. And maybe that's what I'm gonna do to the coach at Enloe. Like I'll just never say anything, but every time he turn around, I'm just there like. He's like, man, he don't cheer, he don't clap, just every time he turn around. Watching the whole game with this face.
One more time.
Halftime, walk down where the team goes for halftime. Hey, coach. Because
it's 7:00.
Okay.
Yeah. It's 7:00. You know.
Do you guys have anybody that y'all feel like need to get told? If you do, go in the comments and say it. Just tell them. Tell them in the comments. What does this say?
Well, no, Jay said invite me on the tour. And I'm sure she definitely got some people that she could be like,
man, we need a tour every what? We should make that Tuesdays. Tell them Tuesdays again. We're just tell somebody how you feel. You don't got to use no names. Just tell them how you feel.
Oh, you wait. There is one person right now where I just want to cuss her the hell out and use every single derogatory term that I possibly could dig from the fiery pits of hell. That's where I am right now.
See, I got to poke the bear and get it out of you. And another thing. Do you know how
much energy that, and then you get tired afterwards, and it's like, why did you bring? Like, I sent an email this morning.
There we go.
And I had to keep, rereading it because, like you said, when you are Black and you are, a male or female, you always have to be mindful of how you talk to some of our, folk of a different hue. You can't just come at them the way that they come at each other, because then it's like, oh my gosh,
and bills need to be paid.
Exactly. So I kept rereading this email just to make sure that I did not sound like a bitch or I didn't sound aggressive, because that's the word that they all love to use. And then I'm calling my coworker to read it to her to ensure that she, didn't feel like I was being an asshole about it, because she's of a different hue, but I love her. There's always those, some of a different hue where you're just like, you're a good one.
You get me.
You're a good one. And she's her. However, when I sent the email, all of a sudden it turns into, I'm so sorry. And I'll try to do a better job of listening. Hey, family, how you doing? But I'll do a better job at listening. And then now I feel bad because I'm like, now why did you get me to this point where I have to cuss you out via email? And that wasn't even a cuss out.
Never feel bad.
I'm trying to deal with that.
See, that's why I don't do it, because I don't feel bad. People are like, man, you always running off at your mouth. I don't care. That's a you problem. Don't do shit to me.
I'm such an empath. Oh my gosh. I'm such an empath.
Well, pray for me, because I'm not. And I don't have, y'all know I'm on the spectrum, and that things that just come, intrusive thoughts be like, wow.
They do.
So
what is going on?
I see it and be like, I don't like that pepperoni. You be like, we didn't ask. So my intrusive thoughts win at times. And so I've been working on it, because I promise you, man, people get mad and I don't mean anything by it, but I see it and be like, I told you. And everybody like, see, here he go. And now I'm just a Black guy with these eyes. I told you. I did not tell you. Say I told you. Say it. Say I told you. You better say it. If you don't say it, I'm gonna say that you didn't, that you need to say it. Tell me that you. People like,
the man. Black guy with what face?
Just angry. Samuel L. Jackson from that movie where he came out with that wife beater on him. That's me. That guy lives inside of me, pause, spiritually, because that's how I be feeling. Like, I done told you, Black people. Ooh. You see these lashes on my back? Master done whipped me pretty good. What Natar Newton when you got mad? I got plenty lashes on my back from Master from Master beating me. I am the slave who has lost toes, feet, fingers, because you're not going to keep telling me what I can and cannot do. And so I'm going to say, this is what I'm going to do. And if I'm not hurting anybody, that's you. That's a you problem. And I got so many people, boy, you's a fool. You see how good we got it here. We eats good. We lives good. We allows the coach, boy. Don't mess this up for us. Master, here he go. He making a problem. He ain't working. I'm like, but if we just work together, fool, you's crazy.
It is 5 after.
Okay.
It's time for us to switch
sorry.
gears. We'll talk about this more on Tuesday.
Black people, we need to stick together. It's not just football. It's in general. We need to start networking together and stop thinking that we always have to ask somebody else. We have the resources. My last comment, and then we're done. What better time is it to be Black? What error would you trade to be Black? That's my point. Like, it ain't like you can be like, you know what? Back in 1963, I think that's me. Is it? Because hoses were out. People was getting bit by dogs and hung. What better time is it to be a Black person and we still can't get it right? What? I thank my ancestors for doing what they did and thank my people for putting their lives on the line, because right now, I don't think too many of us would do it. If the lives was on the line, oh, you want to vote, huh? You want to vote? You really want? Hey, man, you know what? You got it, baby. Ain't nobody willing to take a bullet like that no more. You see what I'm saying? Like the way them people charge the Capitol, we ain't doing that.
But boy, was that good TV. Ooh, that was good TV.
We're not doing that. Because we know, hey, wait, we start thinking about things.
That and the anniversary of the Montgomery Brawl was on the 5th.
That was hilarious.
Absolutely hilarious.
Do you think you would have jumped in?
I can't swim.
No, I mean, but on the dock side.
Oh, hell yeah.
When they came out with them chairs, hell,
especially when I saw the women. Oh no,
yeah.
Bitch.
When they hit the women, that's when. Oh man.
I'm like, no, sir, I got it.
But then there would have been conversation as we got closer to that water. Like, now wait a minute, let's talk about it. I can't swim.
Don't be so hasty.
Now damn it, don't put me in this water. Slide over. All right, let's get back to it.
Because once I'm in the water, I'm done.
That's somebody I saved my ass, and all cameras over there trying to fight and miss and slip and go in. Because I'm like, man, that dock wasn't that big, and it'd be my luck. 2 of them jump on me and toss me. I'm like, oh no. We got guests.
We have guests, so let's switch gears.
Gotta learn how to swim.
Fighting in a damn life jacket.
You know you restricted.
Let's switch gears. It is Healing Wednesdays. We have Verna Spencer in the building, as well as James Perkins. He is back. We are going to be talking about emotional triggers.
That's why I started the show this way.
Yeah.
Let's get some therapy. Ask questions,
please.
So we'll be right back. We gotta,
Don't
of course,
nowhere,
make the adjustments real quick, but then come back and we got some questions and all that, and we're gonna get busy. This is TDS Radio, our voice, our culture. Okay. Ready? All right. Oh. So our music is playing in the headphones. Okay. That's good. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man, Coach Block, one half of TDS Radio. Yeah, you gotta act like you like me. Act like you like me.
This is
So tall.
yeah.
It's the. I can tell you why it would happen. It's the cord from the TV. It's so short. I had to make adjustments.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So, as you can see to my left, we have two people. You got your pillow?
He was just saying that.
Oh, okay.
People gonna be like, oh,
It's okay. There you
yes,
go.
I'm sure.
Here's your pillow. There we go. We good?
oh yes, honey. Now we talking.
Yeah. All right.
There we go.
There we go.
Everybody else is. Okay.
So as you can see, Auntie V's in the building, and next to Auntie V is my guy, James Perkins, the man who you guys were just telling me therapy's working for. So I guess I get to keep that up instead of being petty Pendergrass. But the things that we're being petty about is what we're going to talk about today, right, Auntie V?
Yes.
Triggers.
We don't have that kind of time. Yeah. But we're gonna start the beginning.
Okay, let's start at the beginning.
2-part session for that, right?
Yeah, we probably end up having a 2-part session.
Okay.
I mean, because we've been talking about this for a while. I mean, like James and I were talking about out there in the boonies. I have been preaching self-help, mental health, dealing with your triggers, how we can help with your triggers,
Right.
how our products can help with that,
Yep.
how it takes a village.
Mhm.
How it does. It takes a village.
Right.
And James and I are partnering up
Mhm.
because mental health is good health.
Yes.
And so
Mhm.
and so we are going to talk today
Okay.
about what that looks like,
All right.
about not only what those triggers are and how I can help,
Mm-hmm.
but also how we can combine together and help all of y'all out there.
All right.
Because I didn't hear the message letter today, but
Do we
Oh, we
have
didn't do it.
We didn't do it
y'all
yet.
didn't do it?
Yeah,
We're waiting
we
on
have
you.
one.
if
y'all wanna do
because all of you need to be zooming in on this conversation.
Right.
Y'all
Yeah.
tell me. We have one if y'all want to
Let's
do
do
it.
it.
'Cause we're
You wanna do it?
yeah, we
Okay.
I elevate, and then we can hand off.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
Damn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's time for our
The messy letter.
messy letter.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's
so
do
this
it.
one's a little lengthy. So stick with me, y'all. It says,
I know. I was gonna say I don't have a pen.
Yeah.
I started dating this guy 3 years ago. Things got off to a good start. He always talked about how he wanted to start a business, that because his divorce ruined his credit, it was hard for him. He wanted to do transportation. After about a year, he asked me to co-sign on a car for him. I did, in spite of everything, because of the Jesus living in me. However, when the registration arrived, I discovered the vehicle was only in my name. He explained he couldn't get approved. Apologized. I let it go since he wasn't going to be the one paying for it. Everything was okay. He paid the car without any issues. 6 months ago, he came and said he needed to upgrade and get a bigger car. He wants to transport family, and the Tesla was too small. Oh, a Tesla. Okay. He wanted to know if I will be able to provide some of the pay stubs to help him get a loan on the car. I hesitantly agreed despite my better judgment. I keep track of my credit. Shortly after I provided the pay stubs, my phone started blowing up. And when I went to check, I had over 13 inquiries. Before I could wrap my head around what was happening, he called to say he couldn't get approved for a new car. Since my social was on the pay stub, he asked the dealer to check if I would be approved. I got approved for the loan on my credit and income. He wanted to know if I would sign for him. Before I can answer, the dealer got on the phone. It was a huge mess. An argument occurred for hours on how they checked my credit without my permission. He apologized. After 2 weeks of him and the dealer harassing me nonstop, to sign the loan and him begging how he needed the new car against my better wishes, I went and signed for the loan. Within a span of 16 months, I've had 27 hard pulls on my credit and over 167,000 of vehicle debt. Credit also went down by 30 points. Just when things seemed to fizzle down, he started texting me pictures of another vehicle he's got his eyes on and said he needs a third car. I told him he will not beg, manipulate, or coerce me into signing 3 cars for over $200,000 for him within a span of 2 years, nor will I allow him to have an additional 13 plus hard pulls on my credit. I've already told him that I won't sign. I know him well enough to know that he won't back down until I give in. I see another fight in the future. I want to know what would happen if I were to leave him right now, given that he is operating 2 of my cars. I also want to say, yes, he has difficulty keeping up with the second payment. I'm constantly nagging him. He almost always has an issue. What should I do?
Ooh. I think drops first, so we can get your mood right. Ooh, James.
That's a lot.
You know, one of the things I often do when I hear
Slide the mic up.
Oh yeah, my bad. Hear dynamics like this.
Mm-hmm.
Is I pay attention to my own body, like my own sensations, when I'm hearing someone articulate like a story to me, and
We're talking triggers.
This is
Let it
not
go.
this is not really his problem. This is really her problem. Well, one,
It's terrible.
and this is like no condemnation, but yeah. You know, don't sign for a loan for anybody, especially if they're not your spouse. So that's just number one.
Yeah, I was about to ask in the beginning of the letter, did it say that they were married?
I don't
Dating
think they're
3
married.
years.
Yeah, they were dating.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they've been together for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You let somebody put you in $200,000 worth of debt in 2 years, and you only been dating them for 3 years? Oh no!
And he got cars in her name.
Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord!
Mm-hmm. And he's having trouble with the second car payment.
But wants a third.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with him?
Because he wants to transport family.
What if Uber?
What
What do we mean?
Like a
I was
business?
thinking about whose family is it?
Yeah, like what is he?
Their family together or his kids from his other, if
Oh,
he has
Lord.
kids. But that's hold on.
Oh,
Like I said,
Lord.
we can't get into all those dynamics.
Whoa. I'm confused because when we say transport family, he means their family.
It didn't say.
It doesn't
She just
specify.
said,
Did I
yeah.
miss that?
She just said transport family. He wants a bigger car.
Oh,
It
man.
says 6 months ago he came and asked and said he needed to upgrade and get a bigger car. He wants to transport family. The Tesla was too small.
Oh,
Yes.
Not
So
13.
13 what?
that's a
13 hard pulls.
Yes.
that's a
Yeah.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the challenge here is boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
you're absolutely right that if you make that pull those cars back, I know it sounds like she has a fear of he go key the cars or do something.
Right.
But those cars are in your name,
Mm-hmm.
so they're your ownership.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really just taking back your own stuff,
Mhm.
essentially. But it sounds like that fear of like, man, what is he gonna try to manipulate
Mm-hmm.
or condemn or do something to try to beat me into making me feel bad because I won't sign on the third vehicle
Mm-hmm.
when you've already dropped my credit score 30 points,
Mm-hmm.
13 hard pulls,
Yes.
200. So essentially think about this. And I would tell us like, think about this. You're in $200,000 of debt to a person that's not your spouse.
Right.
Yes.
What does that put you in position when you meet your real homeboy that you probably want to marry and you have to talk about finances and say, well, yeah, I'm still 200 in deep from
From previous relationship.
a previous relationship.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
That's a lot. I don't know
Ouch.
if anybody. Yeah, I don't.
Ouch.
Mm.
That's gonna be. I don't know what love got to do
Yeah.
with it.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I mean,
yeah, that's
Yeah.
because
oh.
that's
So that and well, I say, you know, the cars are just a symptom, right? Like there's probably other dynamics in the
Mhm.
relationship that just resemble this. The cars are just a thing that highlighted so
Mhm.
very obviously that hey, he's going to maybe very good-hearted, but can manipulate. Some interesting. You have people this is why I think people stay. I know that people stay in relationships like these, is because when you know somebody is a butthole, you cut them off very quickly, right?
Quick.
In a hurry. But the people, to some degree, that are good-hearted, they do things for you, they show up in different ways. You feel a little bit of guilt about cutting them off so easily. So you give more rope. They may show up, be good for 3-4 months. That's the thing. What like the longevity of it? It's like they're not bad every day. It's a cycle.
You just took my pay stub and my social security and got a car that day.
Yes.
But tomorrow you're loving on me.
And he was good for 6
I'm
months,
gonna take you on
right?
a date. We'll go to Ruth Chris.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this up. I'm gonna lay it down.
Yes.
And
It's the-
It's gonna
next
be
week,
it's gonna be
It's a
great.
sister that's running, y'all. So he said, "Run, brother." Nah,
Right.
the brother is the one that ran up the sister's credit.
Yes.
And caused 13 hard
Right. He
pulls.
said, well, I just log back in.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, the
Yeah.
log
Yes.
back in. Yeah,
And our cuz said, "Hey, Mr. Therapy."
Right. Yes.
James Perkins.
James.
James.
That's gonna be your new radio
Right,
name,
Mr.
Mr. Therapy.
Therapy.
Mr.
I
Therapy.
got a name now.
Yes,
Mr.
yes,
Therapy.
you do.
And she
Yes, you
said,
do.
"File a fraud report."
Because how can you did not get my permission? So how do you figure you can just take my stuff and be like, "Oh, I'm going to get a new car in your name," and that person is not there to say yes or no?
Well,
Yeah.
she said that she was on the phone with
She
the
was on the
sales
phone.
with the car salesman, and he apologized for pulling,
Mhm.
for doing that without her permission, but still.
And then you just agreed to it, like, "Oh, it's
Yeah.
okay."
Well, yeah, because I think he's emotionally abusing her.
Yes.
I mean, he's just he's taking her. He's
Taking advantage of her
taking advantage of
insecurity.
yes,
Yeah.
because she's got a lot
A lot.
of insecurities.
yeah, yeah.
She really does.
And from what it sounds like, you're probably a woman who we know you had good credit, probably has a good job,
Mhm.
and might be in a certain level where it's like, okay, well, this is probably the best that I'm going to get as dating wise.
Yeah.
So, you're willing to give him some grace instead of just
Mhm.
saying, I'm just going to be alone in my house with my good credit, my good job, and just
Mhm.
chill.
Well, but
Yeah.
that takes a lot.
It
Mhm.
does.
That takes
It
a level of
does.
maturity.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
that
I
she's not doing.
have compassion for her because
Mhm.
what you said, she's probably very diligent
Mhm.
with her finances.
Mhm.
She takes care of her responsibilities. So she's probably the type of woman who is done everything to make sure she's in the best place
Mhm.
for a partner, to earn the right to have a good partner,
Mhm.
right? And when you've been waiting for a long time, as I say, you see probably where she was sensitive towards him sounds like he's a dreamer.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm.
And that's probably what got her. It's like,
So I
man,
need a
he-
Tesla. Like,
he got
damn,
some-
what type of dreams you have?
right. Like he doing his thing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We
Trying to build. So he
Yeah, I
probably
need you to
gave
have
it
some
a
nightmares, brother.
Well,
99
Yeah.
Camry,
Uh-huh.
used,
Yes.
3,500.
Yeah.
And
You know,
then
So
you
he
gotta
probably gave it a
build.
script of, hey, let's build this empire,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna build it
Crazy.
based off your hard-earned
Mhm.
effort
Wow.
and expertise and your own responsibility, and I'm gonna benefit from it in this present moment. All the time,
Ouch.
effort,
Mhm.
hard work that is went into either maintaining your credit or repairing it and get it to where it's at
Mhm.
now. Like
Mhm.
you did all that work,
all that work.
and he
that
can tear
work.
it down in essentially 2.5 years.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, with him being a dreamer, sis, when you saw that he said, "Oh, I want to start a business in transportation," but then he talking about I need a Tesla, that didn't, that
Mhm.
wasn't a red flag that was waving in your face like, because it's not like he said, "I want to go and get a truck." Let's
Logistics, right. Let's get a
let's start.
contract,
Yes.
Start delivering for Lowe's.
Exactly.
Yes.
None of that happened out of his mouth. Is I want a Tesla. Nigga, a Tesla? If you
Mhm.
don't get a Nissan
I
they're
think
Altima.
not even
she's
married.
being nice in her wording. She meant Uber
Oh, that's what you think?
so?
But you can Uber in a Nissan.
because,
You can Uber in anything, can't you?
well,
I
don't
don't
you
know.
get
It's
more
sketchy.
money? Don't you get more money for like Uber Black or something, depending on your
Yeah,
car?
you do.
I was about to
You
say,
do.
I'll
Now,
take
you
this.
do get more money.
You
for
get
Uber
more money
Black.
depending on which car you have. So
Mhm.
she's trying to make it seem like transportation, like when mobsters say waste management, you know what I mean? But
Right.
you in the mob.
Okay.
mob.
we're
So
doing
she's
waste
saying
management. Okay.
transportation, but that's Uber. Because
Mhm.
what person is doing any
He's either doing Uber or Turo or renting out cars.
right renting out
Mhm.
cars? Like,
Mhm.
because what else would it be? You ain't yellow cabin in a Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
So what does he start? And then it's not like you're asking for a fleet, because anybody that may be asking for a fleet to start their own taxi service, you're not going to shoot for a Tesla first. You can get 2-3 cars to do it, you know.
Yeah.
So she's exaggerating so she don't look silly when he said, I'm an Uber, but let's do it this way and then get this type of car, which is crazy work.
Insane.
Because then now you're saying I need another car so I can do what, more people?
Yeah, so he can transport family. That's what he said.
Yeah.
That part is crazy. Why are we transporting why don't family have their own car?
Yeah.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
But it did say he's divorced, so it may be his children from a previous relationship. Because he said that his divorce ruined his credit.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that.
Well, clearly y'all don't have great spending habits collectively.
Yeah.
And if you're transporting them and any kids, then we need to talk about downgrading that Tesla.
Mm-hmm. I would look. Well, one, I would verify that. But number two, it's not your responsibility to repair his credit,
Right?
Even after divorce, even if you're dating. I don't like. I understand that. I'm really sorry that happened to you. How can I support you other than giving my credit up for you? And we're not that's my thing. It's like
we're not married.
That's
Yes.
what I said. They're not married.
So especially
in only 3 years,
That's a different
people
level
be
of
shooting for the
commitment.
moon. Like 3 years,
Well,
and you already
remember,
getting Teslas.
They've been together for 3 years, but she said after 6 months he got the Tesla.
Yeah.
How?
And when you give a brother like this who's been divorced, that
he's
type
going
of
for
access,
He's going for
it
it.
tells him, I've hit bank.
Yeah. Bet. He driving around rolling blunts and that.
And he saw your pay stub.
He done
You
told.
would have never seen that.
He done told the homies
Never.
like jackpot.
Never.
Like,
And we're dating?
Dating.
6 months, you got a
That's why I
Tesla,
don't
my
date.
guy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why That's why I don't date.
So because this
I
is
told you.
brothers, please do not
Told you.
y'all do not send any hate mail to CDS. Radio.
That's why I don't fuck with these niggas.
Right.
That's why I don't
Look.
fuck with these Negroes.
Wait, no, we
this,
had
and
that
this,
conversation.
This is the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The see, years ago, y'all don't send me no hate mail either.
No, don't send us no
Brothers,
hate
I love
mail.
y'all, but I have to tell the truth.
Yeah.
I'm a man of God. Just gotta be honest with myself. Years ago, right? There was the dynamic with men is they can show up and treat you any way they want to treat you, and women would accept that. Now that women, give it up to our sisters, are becoming emotionally healthy, they're becoming more astute. They ain't putting up with a lot of BS,
And then
so the brothers have to switch their game. So now what they're doing is, instead of being a jerk, being a butthole, being not communicating, their new tactic is, I'm going to lead with vulnerability. Still the same cheesy Negro underneath, but I'm going to lead with vulnerability. I'm going to open myself up and say, yeah, man, it's been hard. ... Man. Share their emotions and feelings. You think, oh man, I've hit the jackpot. He's sharing his feelings. I ain't never had a Negro share his feelings this much with me.
I hope a lot of sisters ain't watching today, because now they're gonna be chin scratching like, he did tell me he needed a kidney.
He did tell me he needed a kidney. And he was nice.
He said he was.
And he yeah.
He said
He
he was
even
a
cried in front of me.
He was a diabetic, and everybody died from diabetes in his family.
He's showing up, sharing all his relationship history, where he messed up, how he messed up. He's
Lord.
taking accountability. Man, and she ruined my credit. Can you help me get this?
If I could just get this Tesla to get on my feet.
Man, we can really. They can really change the
Hey
game
man,
for me.
I know I keep saying Tesla, but a Tesla?
A
Like,
Tesla.
you didn't say, let me just get a ride. You said, let me get top of the line.
Top of the line.
And she did. She
I
committed
don't
to
say,
that.
and she said yes.
She said yes to that.
He said, look,
I think-
we ain't even gonna be spending money on gas, baby. It's electric. And she was like, you got a point.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I don't. You don't know. You don't know,
Lord.
because apparently she's being vulnerable too,
Mm-hmm.
and she's sharing, and she's I'm
What
sorry.
was her
I
final
can't
question?
go for having a piece of a man. I mean, I just can't. I can't. I
I
can't
just
do
rather,
it.
yeah,
No.
just
I know
rather
from
not.
the-
I just
No.
rather
I
not.
can't do it.
I say the
I'd rather
same.
not.
This-
Yeah,
Just say no.
Just-
I mean,
that's
be sympathetic and empathetic.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Get
You know?
yourself together, baby. And once you do, you
know.
you
I'd be
come
like,
possibly come back
Mhm.
around. But get yourself together.
I'm so sorry to hear
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Wow, that must
I'm
be
going to
hard.
encourage you. I'm going to affirm
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
You
I
got
can-
this.
I can help
You
you find
got
a
it.
credit repair service.
Yes.
I may can help you pay for that.
Yes.
yeah. Let's start that
You're
path.
so
Yes.
nice. I'll be like,
Mhm.
here's their number.
Right.
They take a firm.
Firm.
Yes.
Split your payment
Right,
6
yes.
so much, right? Crap,
Yes.
but they gonna check your credit score. So
Yeah.
Oh,
that'll
they
be a
do.
good
They
option.
do. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
Just do Credit
Yeah.
Karma. It's free.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh. But they be lying to you. They're like, your credit is great. And you be like, I got a 500.
But no, just because you can go, they give you the numbers and stuff to all the credit
Oh, yeah.
bureaus. You just call them on your own and get your
Yeah.
own credit score.
Mhm.
So if you want to learn how to do that, hit me up because I used to work for Fidelity Mortgage. I can tell you how to get your credit right.
Can you get rid of student loans?
Government is different.
Yeah.
Child support, school loans.
Yeah.
Totally
Mm-mm.
different thing.
Yeah, that's
Completely different.
that is written on your credit
Yeah.
as a debt, and it's at the top. Then so nah, but other things you can get them off.
Yeah, but not for the car.
Like that
you
gym
know?
membership that you just can't get off. You can do that.
Mhm.
You know.
Mine is, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, if I
So-
could get rid of student loans.
I,
Nah,
I believe that the
I
young
thought
lady.
they were coming after me last year, but they had switched loan services.
Uh-huh.
I think they went to Nelnet or something.
Yes!
I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what in the world? I started getting these emails. I'm like, y'all playing games out here.
I'm telling you.
Nelnet got me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
I
student
was like, who's this
That's no
Nelnet?
joke.
What was
So
her final question?
Her final question is, I want to know what would happen if I were to leave him right now, given that he is operating my 2 cars.
Well, they're your cars. So first of all,
Yes.
by law,
Mhm.
they go with you.
Mhm.
He can't take those because your name is on them, and he's not like she didn't co-sign. She actually purchased those cars.
And
So
they're in her name.
those are her cars in her
Yes.
name. So now the question is, can you maintain the payment of those 2 cars
Ooh.
by yourself?
Mhm.
Because if you cannot, then you're gonna have to talk about what you can do as far as getting rid of those.
Mm.
And the Tesla, the sad part about them is they lose value as soon as they're pulled off the lot. Like,
And I hope she's not going to be in a negative equity situation.
right,
with both
it's
of those.
definitely going to be that way. Like, and now your debt to income ratio is shot
Mm.
because
You're
you,
gonna have to.
yeah,
You're
you
gonna have
got
to
2
leave him.
cars on your debt to income ratio is
Mhm.
done because now you don't have another income.
Mhm.
That's all
Mhm.
just you because, like we're saying here, you're not married.
Mhm.
So anything that you may need your credit for is going to be solely based upon your debt to income ratio. But now they're going to see you got these 2 massive car payments here
Mhm.
Mhm.
on top of where you may live if you own your home.
Mm.
I know.
Those 3 right there are going to take you out.
I know. Bless her heart.
Girl.
So, ouch.
Mhm.
I would say get your vehicles back though,
Mhm.
and then now you're gonna have to figure out what you can do with the creditors. I don't know how long it's the Tesla's already out because that was 6 months into the relationship.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Maybe with the new one, I don't know how new. Did she say how new the new one is?
Well, the last one, she said he's bugging her, right?
Yeah, he's trying to get
So
her.
That's the third one.
Mhm.
So they're technically on the second, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They're technically on the
And
second.
he was trying to get a third.
Lord, have
Yeah.
mercy.
So
No.
what this tells me is she has a job that pays her well. Whatever industry she's in,
Mhm.
Mhm.
she's working for to have
With
that
A1
justified-
credit.
With A1
Mhm.
credit, she's sensible.
Because you're right, because they gave you a Tesla and then you were able to get another car
And possibly a third.
and possibly a third.
Mhm.
So wherever, unless he's dealing with some shady car places like the car dealerships, but for the most part, that Tesla is going to be 100,000 plus.
Mhm.
Then your second car, 9 times out of 10, because it's going to be, he said it's bigger, right?
Well, yeah, he
Mhm.
seems to be wanting to upgrade.
So that's another 100,000 because she
Lord
said
knows
she's
what the
$200,000 in
Mhm.
debt.
I said, Lord
Mhm.
knows what
So
the third
you were
one's
able to incur $200,000 of debt on top of what you already have yourself. So, like
Mhm.
you said, she's doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's doing quite
I
well.
s- yeah. Look, I
Mhm.
tell women like this: the same level of discretion that you use in all your other affairs,
Mhm.
apply that same level of discretion here.
Mhm.
Is when emotions sometimes get involved, your decision making gets compromised.
Yeah.
But do what you would do if you were obviously you manage your finances well. Whatever financial decision you would make in that sense, make that. And this may be your invitation to start a business for yourself.
Hello.
Yes.
Find out what his business model is.
Yes.
Take it
And
from the
take it.
board, kick
You
him to the
got several
side.
Take
cars.
it. Yeah, because you got the cars.
You've got several cars. I said yes.
Several.
Several.
Because
Yeah.
she's driving something, I'm sure.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
then you got the car that you're
And then
driving.
how do you figure I got one car and you need 3?
Well,
Insane.
she's got to make it make sense. I mean, take them.
That's what
I mean,
say.
that's a
Take 'em.
simple,
Take
that's a-
him, and he got to go.
It's simple.
And
but,
we'll sit down and figure this out.
yeah, that's a very simplistic way of putting it because it's obviously quite complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And when I have found that when emotions are in it, woo,
And
Because she's
especially
not
if y'all
driving a
sleeping
Nissan
together.
Maxima.
Right.
If he has a Tesla, she's driving a luxury car,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
most likely. It's just conjecture. But,
You know, when you start having emotions put in stuff,
Lord have mercy.
emotions make you go, emotions make you do some stuff.
yes, they will.
Emotions make you, do drive-bys. I mean, people's houses. Emotion is a lot. I mean, really. What?
Bust the windows out your car.
Yes. That's how you get. Yeah. That's how you get missing tires and
Yeah.
Gasoline thrown in the seats,
Yes.
blowing up.
Thank you. Sugar in the gas tank. I mean, that's how emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to control them.
Yeah.
Bad puppets.
Yeah. And if he don't have much to bring, he's probably doing very well in the bedroom. So that's probably messing with your head too,
Yeah,
baby.
but okay.
Go ahead and
I don't know
separate
if I
those
can
two.
say. I don't know if I can say this on radio or not, but
It's
I
adult
was always-
radio.
You can
I
say
was
it.
always taught though, Kelly used to hate when I said, "They come a dime a dozen
And
and
it
13 on
does.
Sunday."
It
I mean, you
does.
can get that.
Yeah.
I mean, really, and good.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that you need to keep it. You don't need to keep it
No,
because
you ain't got to convince me. We got to convince her, Miss V.
yeah, you can get some excellent.
Yes.
And it
And you
won't.
don't have to keep
And
it.
it won't cost you a Tesla.
No,
Oh, gosh.
no.
And whatever other car he
No.
got.
They catch your
Yes.
attention.
Yeah, it's not going to get you
No, no,
$200,000
It's not
worth
a
of debt.
penalty.
Mm-mm.
It's not a
Sheesh.
penalty.
Mm-mm. So, baby,
You know?
get your cars and leave this man alone.
Yes.
Leave him alone, please.
Honey, please.
Because you
yes.
got a lot of problems to deal with right now.
We
A
rooting
lot.
for you too.
Yeah.
We
Nothing but
are
love.
definitely
Rooting for
rooting
you, girl.
for
You
you.
do this.
Yeah.
Report them stolen.
For them stolen.
Right?
Look,
Goodness.
Because your
before you
name
make
is the
any
only name
decision,
on
though,
it.
No.
Figure out his business model. Start asking
Yes.
him questions.
Right.
Yes.
So how do you do this?
What do you
Yeah.
say?
Okay.
Become
Oh.
calculated.
Gabe said, whoa, Auntie, drive-bys and sugar in the tank is diabolical.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. That shows y'all how old I am. Because that's what that used
That's
to
what
be
happens.
the signature
Yeah,
thing.
that's what
Mhm.
happens.
And it
Back
still
in the day.
happens.
She only knows this by research. not by
That's
practice.
right.
By
Yes,
research.
absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody know me?
I know
Yeah.
that's
No.
right. Mm-mm,
I,
mm-mm.
I can become incredibly detached,
Mhm.
emotionally.
good.
When you talk about my money,
Mhm.
you can be a fool, but don't be a damn fool.
Money.
Mhm.
Yeah, keep trying to tell y'all, money changes. Like
Money,
you said,
yes.
no, hold up. $20,000 worth of debt. The
Yes.
money ain't adding up.
Mhm.
No.
No,
Like
it doesn't
no.
make sense
It
to
does
me.
it's no longer making any
It makes no sense
20
to me.
grand. And then when you had to get on the phone to make something happen that wasn't supposed to happen was also a flag of this shouldn't be happening. Like you were on the phone for hours to try to get this car when it should have just been like, no.
No.
Yeah, no.
No is a complete sentence.
Yeah, no. We're not doing
No,
this.
we're not doing
Yeah.
this because please. Now what the
So
what
then
are you
now
talking about?
from this, what type of triggers
Oh God,
does
yes.
this young lady end up
Mhm.
possibly with now moving? Because let's say she gets her car, now there's going to be triggers here, right?
Especially going into the next relationship.
And we're going to have to get her
Well.
balanced.
I was gonna say I don't know if she's gonna. Yeah, she probably won't have a next relationship for a while.
Mhm.
I mean, because this one is gonna take some work to
It's gonna
get
take
out
her out.
of and recover
It's going
from.
to take her out.
I think that's fair.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Mhm.
That's a hard.
Tesla's gonna be like you said. Tesla's in the driveway when you walk out. I'll give you a reminder.
Yeah.
Every time
Why
you
did
see
I
that
do that?
Tesla,
Every time she sees him, he's probably a trigger.
oh
Mhm.
Lord,
Mhm.
I mean, for her emotional health,
I can't stand.
because she
your
said that
black-
he is going to continue to bother her
Mhm.
until he gets the
Mhm.
third car.
Mhm.
And then there will be a fourth, and there'll be something
Yeah,
else.
no, baby.
He's seen what you make. He's seen your
No.
credit. he's about to run it up, and that has shown you also what happened in his last relationship, where he's like, "Oh, the divorce ruined my credit." No, you ruined your credit.
Yeah.
No.
So to answer her question very directly is, it sounds like she already has some level of fear about what he may do if she makes this decision. So I want you to consider, ask yourself, like, what am I really afraid of? Like, what do I think he's going to do? Because there's probably some anxiety around that. That's where the CBD can help to help level you out, to help you think
can think
sensibly.
clearly.
Yeah, because you have to.
Yeah.
Because you got to make decisions.
Yeah.
Moves must be made. My mom used to say that
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
You ain't got time for crying and whining because moves
Fix your
must be
face.
made.
Yes.
Yeah, fix your face. Because
And
moves have to be made.
they have.
They do.
They do.
Moves
Talk
have
us
to be
about it,
made.
James.
So
Turn
just,
around.
I want to let her know. Go ahead.
to me.
I want you to prepare yourself for the abandonment, because that's essentially what you're getting to. Is yes, he is going to abandon. He's either going to abandon you, or he's going to make you feel bad while he is leaving.
The guilt,
Real bad.
The guilt trip.
And that's what you're not going to be able to. What she sounds like she's not going to be able to handle is the abandonment of him leaving. And then what's going to exacerbate that is that, man, you left me, and you left me with debt. Like, you can leave me with some emotional debt. I can get through that because that's not on paper.
But these people are calling me
But
about
you
this payment.
You leave me with that,
Yeah.
and then I get a call next Tuesday. Ma'am, yes,
This
and you having to
bill.
make payment arrangements.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all the stuff you feel like, man, I got enough emotional capacity for all that. So you're gonna take your gummies. You need to put your order into Miss V before you have this conversation with
Thank
him.
thee.
Hello.
Thank you, James. Yes.
That's the
Yes.
that's the game
Yes,
plan.
sir.
It is the game plan.
TheHealingConsultant.com.
Yes, sir.
What you do?
Mhm.
TheHealingConsultant.com. Y'all follow me?
Hello.
Yes.
And for breakups, just in general, like
Oh, God.
ideally, the clarity
Emotional.
that you need, like you said, because emotions, they're firing at different angles and different times and different ways, and you're not centered enough to be able to make conscious, clear decisions for your future. Because moves,
Yeah.
you do have to. She can't sit still because the
Well, she's operating out of with a deficit.
Mhm.
But she really is. She's
Mhm.
operating out of a deficit.
Mhm.
And I've always come to find out that trying to make decisions when you're anchored in emotional distress,
Mhm.
they just don't come out well.
Mhm. Mhm.
They just don't come out well.
Mhm.
And you have to give yourself a fighting chance
Right.
to
Right.
make some rational decisions.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
and for a certain part, devoid of the emotional
Mhm.
attachment and stress
Right.
that you're in.
Yeah.
Because those are hard decisions.
So this is for both of you guys, when you have someone who, let's say in this situation, let's say it wasn't necessarily debt, but it was just if the relationship's getting spoiled and somebody has to go. And now we're saying like, okay, for him, this is my house. You have to go. But you've never set like a boundary to be that stern person. Like you said, you're staring down the barrel of a hard decision.
Right.
But then it leaves you in like this emotional paralysis where you can't make the decision that you know you need to make. And you're working from a deficit. How do you propose you get out of that deficit just to get the baseline? You get what I'm saying? Like, we just got to get the baseline so I could think about the next move versus moving and not even having clarity. So how do we get out of the deficit to just get to a baseline?
Yeah. Go ahead. You go
No, I was
first.
going to say that, stress hormones
Mhm.
are huge. And it sounds like that she has been up under the stress of huge catecholamines. And I suspect that she's depleted because it's been going on for a while. So it's not, that takes a toll on you. So I've always been preaching about, you have to try to get yourself to a balanced level so that when things are coming at you, you can make some rational decisions. Now, y'all hear me talk about it all the time. Every time I'm in this chair, we don't talk about it. However, James over here is another professional, mental health, y'all, because we're talking about that. That can go about it, can explain it to you differently than I do, because you all got to. It's not just mental, but it's like it's physical too.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
a depletion. So, James, talk to us about that, sir.
Yes. I'm actually connect both using her as an example. So one of two of the major signs for when you're under in any level of emotional distress is either people are on the side of people pleasing, on the other side of perfectionism. So the people pleasers, what they will do is because they have a compulsive need to be validated, to be admired, or to not upset people or let people down, they will abandon their own needs for the sake of pleasing the other person. So her needs, you said 3 years, right? So you should have obviously your own need to have the ability to manage your own finances, right? To be able to steward them as well as you can. You have a need for accountability and for trust. In this situation, this brother has compromised your trust, compromised your credit, has in a lot of ways sounds like he's manipulated to even to make you give him the access, not by a willful, hey, let me do this for you, but more of a coercion and manipulation. So you've abandoned your own needs in order to stay connected in the relationship. Because essentially, if I don't give him access to help him get his business off the ground,
then what about him? And she's not asking what about her.
Yes. Because I like the way she said, I won't say I like the way she said, but essentially, hey, I'm going to be a bad person if I don't give him my Social Security to help him get his business off the ground. I'm going to be like his ex-wife who ain't support him probably, and his credit got ruined. So I'm going to be the bad person here. So hand it over, but ouch, 2-3 times, right, ouch. And then you have the people on the other side, like the perfectionists, like they would have never given up their credit report. I mean, their Social Security.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I'm not even talking to you.
She almost choked on water. She said, "Hell no!"
Yes.
Yosemite Sam came out. You darn tootin'.
Right. Look, so the perfectionists, they have very high standards, oftentimes because their fears of being defective, of being good. So they don't like to be exposed as being incompetent, not thinking well. So they would never do something like this. People please, on the other hand, because they value the connection of the relationship, they will give that over to stay connected to you.
Crazy.
All right?
And she's not even thinking of her financial future. Because literally for the future of your finance, this makes absolutely no sense.
None.
On any level.
She's not.
None.
And so the people pleasing is most likely pervasive. It's just not in this relationship. It's probably in other aspects. And like I said, people pleasing, it can be very comprehensive. But it can be exacerbated in romantic relationships because you feel like there are certain needs that you want to get met from this person rather than from other people. So like you may people please to accommodate your parents, even if you're adult, but you're not going to do so much where you like, you giving up your Social Security number. But for a romantic relationship, because there are things that you can get from a romantic relationship that you can't get from your parents. Right. So I think I can go a little bit further.
And cloudy that judgment.
Right? So those two signs, perfectionism, people pleasing, you're constantly emotionally dysregulated. I think this is where the CBD comes in because a part of the receptors that CBD helps out with is connected to, we call it the ECS system in our brain, which deals with the hormones that actually help with mood regulation. It is a system that controls our flight or fight response, or fawn, if you will, which is related to when we are in a situation, something that triggers us, we get emotionally dysregulated. It's the same part of our system that happens when we're traumatized. So CBD, what it does is it gives you essentially more bandwidth. It's like I use the metaphor. It's like it helps you gives you stronger brake pads. If you've ever driven a vehicle, now it's probably gonna hit home for a lot of people. If you've ever been driving a vehicle right for a long time, you notice that when your brake pads start to wear down, right, what starts to happen? What do you start to hear?
Squeaks.
Squeaks, right? And then if you keep using them, what eventually happens?
You get to the rotors, baby.
starts grinding. Starts grinding, right? So what that means, right, is that you have to put your foot on the brake maybe twice, 3 times as much time as you would if your brakes were fresh.
Sometimes to the flow. That's right, Miss B. Not that I know.
Oh man, that's real talk.
Go ahead, James. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Preach. Go ahead.
So what CBD does,
the same thing.
right?
Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
CBD essentially helps you strengthen your brake pads so that you don't have, you can press on the brakes, giving you the ability to make a more conscious, deliberate decision on how am I going to respond to this. When you're emotionally dysregulated, I think I talked about this last time, your executive function goes offline, or with prefrontal cortex, executive function is that part of the brain that helps us decide, like
have decision making capacity, so you can filter things. So when they come to you, you can make logical decisions.
So homegirl right here, okay. All right, yeah, he said his credit got ruined due to divorce. I understand that. I'm sympathetic towards that. He is asking me for a Tesla. It's $100,000. Why not a Camry? Why not a Prius? Electric car. It's an electric car, or some hybrid.
How about
You're so wonderful.
Yes.
Because see, I would have given options.
Oh yeah.
I would have just been like, no.
I'm just deducing in your head. It's like I'm asking,
so
why
sweet.
a Tesla? So I'm asking, is there a reason that it needs to be a Tesla? So I want to see what his answer is.
Okay.
This is when all your when it's all online, you're thinking deliberately, like, well, I'm going to ask him some questions. I'm not going to shut him down. I just want to. I'm
Inquisitive.
I'm going to be curious.
Because he's piqued your interest.
Right. I was like,
he's piqued your
okay.
interest now. Yeah.
Well, what was your credit score before you got married the first time? Like, this is things I'm thinking about. Like, okay. But when that prefrontal cortex, that executive function goes offline, when you're under emotional distress, you're not thinking pragmatically.
You know what? You are 1,000% correct, because we did skip over the fact that she could have pulled his credit and they could have sat down together and had a conversation about, okay, I'll help you with a car, but it ain't gonna be that one. I can listen to what you have to say and say, okay, I can support this, but I don't have to support you in $100,000.
Yes.
But I think he blindsided her. I don't think there was a discussion. I think he blindsided her.
Hurry up and make a decision.
Yeah, and pressured her into it. What, 6 months into the relationship?
Yeah. And then of course he was talking
People
about the whole
blindsided her.
transportation. I want to start a business. So she was falling in love with the potential of like, oh, this guy's
he probably groomed her.
Crazy.
Hey man, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I need to get this business started.
Yeah.
Right. Ain't seen that in their business plan. We ain't got no history of you doing anything business related. What is your job, sir? Like
Tesla, bro. I can't get it out of my mind. I want to start a business. I need $100,000 to get this Tesla.
Yeah.
Right. Do you know how happy I was when I bought my Camry? I was like, I made it.
Yes.
How do you get? I mean, because how does that come? I mean, that is interesting in and of itself.
Yeah.
And I'll give her the benefit of the doubt here. A part of this is money is probably really not nothing to her. I won't say
must be
this.
nice.
This is right.
That's what you're saying.
This is how a little bit hyperbole here. What I'm embellishing.
Yeah.
Is money to her may not be nothing as long as she gets love. And you have people like they don't care about the money.
Yeah.
Yes.
As long as I get the love and affection, I'll do anything.
Absolutely.
I will do anything.
And like you said, she's
Yes.
working from a deficit.
She is. She is.
Yeah.
Well, and that's because that's a real thing. Because people are out here looking for it.
Yeah, they are.
They're searching high and low.
Yes, there are young. I'm not even gonna say young. There are people crying on TikTok because they are so desperate for intimacy and connection.
Yes.
So very easily, like you said, I could see how this could happen because it's just like I've been at the top of my game. I've worked hard. I make good money. I've done all the right things, but in love, I haven't done or I haven't been as lucky. So here comes this guy. He's sweet talking me. He's telling me all the right things. You don't see any proof whatsoever.
Yeah, but that's just getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Intimacy has different levels.
He may dress well.
Yes.
Smell good.
Smell
Yeah.
good.
Ain't no telling, like I said, what he did in the bedroom. She's in love.
He sent
I can't
that
speak on that, but
representative. He sent the representative.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right.
He did. I didn't know we talked about that.
And
No.
now you ruined your life.
Yeah. He
So-
said all the right things.
And so I
All
think
right things.
the biggest thing that you said today, and I think a lot of us operate from it, is being in that spot of depletion.
Absolutely.
Like being depleted and trying to operate and function in a relationship clearly is going to cloud judgment, because you're, like you said, you're now in pleaser mode because you're already not happy with you.
Yeah.
And so, like, when we're talking about the CBD, and you say it all the time, we're just trying to get you to a point where you can think clearly enough to make a logical decision, a rational decision, without being clouded in your mind by, THC and just going too far.
I don't do that.
Right.
Yeah, we know. Yes,
Mhm.
our products we don't do that with.
Mhm.
And all of these, as we say, federally regulated. Yes, Jesus, because they will hound you.
Right.
Yes, and all of them, as I say it ad nauseum, I know. With every purchase, with every bottle, there's a QR code on there. You know exactly
What's
what
in
you
here.
got. You know exactly what's going on. There's no doubt. There is no doubt in your mind.
Yeah.
And I always say, vegan friendly, non-GMO, organically grown. I just can't say enough about my own shit.
I know that's
As
right.
you-
It's just
as you
fabulous.
I know that's right.
It's
So,
fabulous.
When we were at Dream City, and Tasha was asking about your products and how you would suggest packaging and membership and putting things together for this young lady, with her seeing the deficit that she's in. Let's say she sat with you and described this whole situation. What package of product would you put with her to start out to get her to zero level?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, with her, because of the quick onset, I honestly would start trying to suggest drops, because as we talked about, drops can go in anything.
Correct.
Whether you're drinking coffee, whether you're drinking tea. I don't suggest you drink it with alcohol, but you do it? Yes, you can. But we got 2 mood altering things, and we're not gonna go into that anyway. But you can start there, because you can also use the gummies, for longer acting. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to bring yourself up to a level and to a balance. And if you're trying to do it quickly, honestly, you need to do drops first for at least 24 to 48 hours.
Okay.
Because you're trying to get to a therapeutic dose, so that when things are coming at you, because what she can say was, oh, okay, shit, okay, too much, so what I would tell her to do is start there, because she's got work.
Yeah.
And she's coming to us. I'm not going to say frantic, but he has pushed a lot of buttons.
Correct.
And he, as you say, he's got the foot. He's got metal, he's on her neck. I mean, and she's just trying to swim. She's just trying to get up out from under that. And she can't do that if she's working in an area for which she's depleted. So I would say do that first.
So with you saying that,
Then we got to come back.
I was about to say, because this ain't a one-trip deal now.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
That's what I was about to
she needs
say.
a level.
Okay.
She needs to operate with a balance.
Yes.
And she needs to talk to somebody too. And so, first of all, we got to chemically bring her up to a level that she can at least have things coming at her and she's okay.
Okay.
They're coming at her. She knows it. But at least she can bring that stress level down.
Right.
She can just bring it down just a little bit.
Right.
Bring it down and build it up.
Okay.
That's what we're trying to do. So that's the first thing I would suggest that she does.
Okay.
Because we're talking about an imbalance. We got to work on that first. So no, it's not just a one and done.
So once we bring her up and we can get that, like one thing you said, for things to start flowing in her system and feeling comfortable is
needs to,
24 to 48 hours.
Absolutely.
So then now during this time, how do we boundary set?
Mhm.
Because I can't keep adding on while I'm trying to level out. So then how do I balance what I'm really going through? Like, okay, now I'm talking to Auntie V, I got my drops.
Mhm.
Now, how do I start to begin these boundaries that weren't set?
Yeah,
Because that's a process.
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge process.
So-
I mean, it's not going to be a one day
Not-
thing.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But this will be great to add in conjunction with guided meditations
Mm-hmm.
to help give you some ability to ground.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great resource. I gotta thinking of it for some journal prompts, and I have some boundary worksheets that really help you to start to clarify your own boundaries. Because for most people, are operating. Just the pace of our society at a level of what we would define as overwhelm.
Mm-hmm.
So Carol Gomes, she has this definition for overwhelm. And she says that overwhelm is when you feel like your life is unfolding faster than your central nervous system has time to process it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about your life, and if you think about a definition I just said, that your life is unfolding faster than your central nervous system has time to process it, most people say, according to that definition, I may be operating at 60, 75% of overwhelm on a daily basis.
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mhm.
So
Every day.
no judgment with her, because there are probably a lot more people that are, because they're in a constant state of overwhelm, just not because of romantic relationships, but just different things, their strain levels are navigating.
Mm-hmm.
Life.
It's compromised their ability to really see things clearly and make, and it's unfortunate because like the most critical decisions that you have to make, you don't always have the emotional bandwidth and mental clarity to make them.
Absolutely.
And then it starts a cycle because now you make the decision that you have to live with, and you and you're trying to get more bandwidth to really show up. But the last decision that you make kind of puts you in a predicament where you're tied into some situationship or some level of distress interpersonally, or you got stuff going on with your job. You're trying to figure out how to show up for your kids. They stressed and mad at you saying you ain't showing up, or I'm mad and kids are born narcissists. So
They
like,
certainly are. They are.
so you're navigating all that,
Right,
and then you have to
right.
make
They will. They'll suck you
relationship
dry.
choices
Right.
for romantic. So I can only imagine she like, man, this is my relief. So I'm gonna do anything to keep this man happy because everything else is like causing me overwhelmed. But him, at least I get some out of it. I may give him $100,000, but at least it helps them.
But she's getting something.
She's getting
Or
something.
at least she perceives she's getting something. Or else she wouldn't continue. to
Right.
do it.
And see,
There's
that's why I was
something.
asking the
There's
question,
something.
because now that I've talked to you and I got my drops,
Yeah.
but now things are on me like this, and I got to start
Well,
pushing
you
back.
Yes, you do.
I got to push
You do.
back, and how do I do it? That's why I was
Yes.
at, because
Oh.
now, okay, Mom, I'm clear.
Mhm.
Now, where the hell do I start? You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, because
Mhm.
I know there has to be a moment, and Auntie V, you can talk about it, to where now once I'm balanced, I'm looking at this like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
because I mean,
Yeah.
I always said, it takes a village.
mhm, mhm.
And that because it's not just a one, it's not a one trick pony. I mean, it's you need a whole corral.
Mhm.
In order
Mhm.
in order to get through this thing called life.
Mhm.
Oh, Prince. Okay. But in order to get through this thing called life.
Mhm.
And that is where, I mean, I've been very honest. I mean, I have my own therapist
Mhm.
because you have
Mhm.
to.
Mhm.
I journal, I meditate,
Mhm.
I drink
Mhm.
my tea.
Mhm.
Because it's everything.
Mhm.
And that's where James comes in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's where James comes in.
I give people that simple worksheet, something that she could probably do, anybody can do tonight,
Mhm.
is a cost benefit analysis. Is I want you to sit down, and just using her example, is I want you to put down, because to your point, there are always some level of benefits that we get when we are operating in dysfunctional behavior,
Mhm.
or else when we continue it.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you have to put down, okay, what's the benefits that I'm getting from this relationship with this dude?
Mhm.
Put that on the right side of the sheet.
Yeah.
Left side, I want you to put down everything that you feel it's costing you in order to do those things.
Mhm.
For you older people, it's a pro and con.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I mean,
Yeah.
Cost of benefit make
yes,
it sound like
yes,
I'm losing
yes,
something.
yes.
It's costing me
It's
something.
costing you something. But for those of us that are just a tad bit older, it's a pro and con list.
Pro and cons, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but yeah,
We
you
call it
take that
journaling if you want
worksheet.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, you take that worksheet
Mhm.
and that list. You look on the left side of that list, and I want you to identify, circle, what are the 3 top things that are the most critical for you, not critical for you, that you feel like this is costing me too much.
Mm.
Once you have that sheet, is where I said it's where we come in. You need to find your therapist to say, hey, you know what? I'm in this relationship. These are the benefits I'm getting from them, and I'm realizing, but this is what it's costing me.
Mhm.
How can I assess if this cost is worth paying?
That's right.
Because sometimes the cost is worth paying if you can repair with the person.
Yes.
Sometimes it's not worth, because the cost of repairing may take you so long because the person already lacks self-awareness.
Mhm.
They're untrustworthy. They're not safe, period.
Mhm.
Yes.
So you can't repair something with someone that's unsafe, period.
Yes.
It's like you just need to move up the road, find
Mhm.
someone that's
Yes.
safe. Because she really probably gave him too much
She
before he even
has.
earned the right to do the type of things that she gave him.
Yeah, because I think she had personally. I think she has given up too much.
Mhm.
Because I think that when people are a detriment to your own self, because in a way he is. I
Mhm.
mean, she's got a lot of work ahead of her.
And the reality is,
compromised her.
we don't always realize how much an impact a person is having on us until we've actually left. That's when people
Yes.
really start to realize, oh, this person took from me more than I realized.
Yeah.
And that's when they get really pissed.
Oh yeah,
Now you
that's
start
when you try to put
assessing.
sugar in the tank.
You got to assess the damage.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you were
Yeah.
saying. Going back now,
Mhm.
oh man, Monday morning you go out and see that Tesla, or
Yeah.
see his face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because that's where I think, like you guys are saying, you guys are just putting it a lot more eloquent than I would say. When I wake up in the morning, I'm looking at this mess like shit. Like I done took my drops,
Yes.
I'm clear, and now I'm like,
You're
what
like,
the
yeah.
hell did I
Mhm.
do?
Yeah.
And now I got to get out of this. And then,
Yeah.
like you said, I'm looking at him and his cars and all
Mhm.
this. And how do I keep myself from being overwhelmed? Because now
Mhm.
that I'm clear, I might be overwhelmed because I really wasn't seeing it from this lens.
Mhm.
And now I'm like,
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just a different lens.
mhm,
It doesn't mean that the intensity of the lens
Mhm.
has gotten any worse.
mhm,
Mhm.
You're just looking at the situation differently.
mhm,
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that it's become more concentrated or you're at a
Mhm.
bigger power.
right, right,
Yeah.
You're not.
right.
It's the same.
It's the
power.
same
It's the same
Mhm.
strength.
Mhm.
It hadn't changed.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
I mean, it hasn't. It
Yeah.
hasn't changed. You're just seeing it clearer now.
yeah.
And I think that if anything, I think that you're able to at least start looking at options
Mhm,
because it doesn't look like before. Because I think she feels trapped,
mhm,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and a lot of people feel trapped.
yeah.
And you got to give yourself options.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
So you got to be able to get yourself to a place where you can actually see the options.
Right, right.
Mhm.
Because right now she doesn't see anything.
She doesn't see any
Yeah.
options.
Yeah, she doesn't see
She
anything.
feels pressured.
Right.
Mhm.
Because she's asking about cars that actually belong to
Yes.
her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
About how do I get them back? They're your cars.
And that's why I was saying
Yeah.
the fact that she's asking the question tells me that there's some underlying fear potentially around even how he shows up
Mhm,
Mhm.
that she may be concerned about.
mhm,
Yeah.
Because if he's not that type of person where you're like, man, you're gonna really push him to the limit,
mhm,
you can have a conversation like, hey, this relationship is over, get my cars back. And
Mhm.
you'd be like, he may say something, but he gonna leave.
Right.
Mhm.
But it sounds like the type of person that she fears she is,
Mhm.
where he's intimidating her.
Mhm.
She has some kind of concern that he might escalate
I
things.
think
Right.
so.
So how do I get out this situation without it being escalated into some type of situation where it's gonna cause more damage,
Mhm.
more distress, more drama,
Mhm.
potentially police being involved. or
Yes.
something.
And she has to
Right.
think this out logically.
Mhm.
She has to feel that she's got options.
Mhm.
Right.
And you can't feel that way until you can think clearly.
Mhm. Mhm.
Until you can recognize that, okay, I need help with this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm. The very practical thing
hell.
is before you decide to have that conversation, it's something very simple to think about. Make sure you have the keys to both of the vehicles
Yes. Yes.
before you have the conversation.
Yes.
Because now you can honestly, because if you've gotten to a place that you're balanced enough and you can think clearly, then you can think clearly. Women are thinkers.
Oh, she's
We are
strategic.
We can, honey, we are some very diabolical,
Right.
people when we want to be.
Right. Amen.
We are
Amen.
multifaceted, honey. We are, we can come from all angles
Mhm.
once we firing right.
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 I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
this
Yes.
could be a logical and strategic way of getting out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
But you got to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
gotta
No.
get
No.
out.
Yeah.
That's the first
I
thing.
think that's
Mhm.
yeah,
got to
we know
get
that
out
we
of
just-
this.
We're just giving you options of trying to
Yeah.
figure out how to,
And you, I'm
to get
telling
help
you,
to get out.
Yeah, because you got to get out of this.
you're going to get out.
Mhm.
Like this is not going to ruin you forever.
Oh,
I'm
God,
telling
no.
it to you.
Mhm.
This is not going to ruin you forever. That's where the anxiety comes from.
It's a learning experience.
This is there you go. This is a learning experience.
Mhm.
It really is.
It is.
This is a
Ooh,
learning
life-
experience.
One hell of a
Yes.
learning experience.
Yes. It's
Expensive.
costly.
Yes.
It's expensive.
Mhm.
But I guarantee you, this is going to be the start of a massive transformation. Because
Mhm.
when she tells this story,
Absolutely.
I can see her telling on stage one day, y'all,
Yes.
let me tell you about this time I
Yeah.
gave
Yes.
this Negro $200,000.
Girl, you want to come to fuck up night?
I was about to say,
I
you
was-
can be one of our speakers at Fuck Up Night.
I've been
And look where
on
I'm
it.
at now.
I've been there. I've told my story.
Mhm.
Yes.
And look at where I'm at now.
Mhm.
When you think about that,
Yeah.
you'll be on the other side of
Yes.
this.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, everybody and understand that you'll get through it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get through it
Mhm.
with help.
Mm-hmm.
That's half of the challenge is with anxiety
Yes.
is literally just when we feel anxious, essentially what we're saying is we're already cognitively
Mm-hmm.
assessing that whatever happens with this,
Mm-hmm.
she's already predetermined, I'm not going to be able to cope. I'm not going to be able to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's already predetermining that. But
Come on,
You gonna make
Inside
it
Out
out?
too. I know that's right.
oh, there you go. Look.
Hey.
Y'all see?
Yes.
Look.
Yeah.
Y'all see?
Uh-oh.
When anxiety,
Okay, go
I know,
ahead.
Yes.
when anxiety was
Okay.
just spinning around,
spinning.
Yes.
Mhm.
and Joy stepped in, and
Mhm.
she says to anxiety,
You have to let her go.
Go.
Yes.
I was like,
That
You
movie was
do.
not for kids. That was for
No,
us.
it was.
That caught me
Yes.
off guard. I
Yes.
was like, this
You
ain't
went,
for kids. Y'all talking to adults here.
Deep.
We got the anxiety.
Right. I was in the theater like, oh my God.
Yeah. So I ain't gonna lie,
Let it
I
go.
teared up on that part because
Mhm.
when to see a kid have an anxiety attack, like you
Yes.
said, and this is what's going on inside of a child, I'm thinking that's me though. That's how I feel.
Well, we all have a bit of a child in us, don't we? No matter how old you get,
Yes.
there's always a
Yeah.
child in you.
Yeah.
No kids are crying. You see that whole
Right.
part? You look
Right.
around, no kids.
Right. They're like, oh, this is cute.
Oh, this is cute.
Like, no, this is not cute. I'm having an anxiety
Can we
attack right
go?
now.
Can we go? No, cry.
Let me get it together first.
Get together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I always believe that those movies are not made for children.
No.
No.
Mhm.
No.
They're made for adults.
Yeah.
No.
They're adult themes.
Mhm.
I was looking forward to seeing it.
I was too.
Yeah.
I was too. It's
Of
like,
course, you know.
Yeah. There's a lot of adult themes.
Mhm.
We can always talk about the psychological issues that Disney movies have. Because they're adult themes.
Yes.
Mhm.
But I
Yes.
digress.
How they never have 2-parent homes. Never.
Mhm.
It's
Ever.
very rare.
And one parent always dies.
Mhm.
Always.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Always.
it's extremely tragic. You're
Yes.
like, whoa.
Mhm.
Nothing was
There's
more
some-
tragic than Lion King. Like, wow,
I
this
know.
is crazy.
And Bambi.
And we
the
st-
hell?
yeah,
Yes.
his mother died.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Think about that movie.
Right.
Cinderella. Mhm.
Cinderella. Think about it.
Right.
Mhm.
They
Well,
started that
dysfunctional
whole
families
Prince
going on.
Charming thing.
Prince and the Frog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yes.
Another frog.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Woo, honey.
It's not the prince.
Not the prince. I don't know. We can talk about that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Again. Yeah. Yes. Let's get up to some therapeutic
Mhm.
Mhm.
balance in here,
Mhm.
so that we can honestly
Mhm.
have those type of hard conversations with
Yeah.
ourselves and with others.
Yeah.
And when you do that, when you'll need some help.
Mhm.
You'll need help doing that.
Yeah.
Your drop
You know?
saved somebody else today. I'm telling you. Your drop
They are
saved
saving
lives.
lives.
They are
you're not
saving
you're not,
lives.
You're not the first person to
Right.
say
I'm
that.
telling you.
Say you just
They
saving
will
lives one
help
drop at a
you.
time.
One
Not
drop at a
cuss people
time.
out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
The-
This close, Miss B. But my drops was looking at me, and I was like, let me just take a moment.
Yes.
Let me drink my drink
Yes.
with my drops in. I'm gonna come back to this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back
Because
to
that's what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have to do because you get to look at it differently.
Mm-hmm.
Not like I said. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that it changed. It
No.
just means that at
Mm-mm.
least you're not having these incredible
Emotional
emotional yes,
outbursts. Yes.
responses to it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And I think that's the biggest thing. Is
Mhm.
that is.
you just because that's exhausting.
It
Yes.
is.
Yeah, it is because I say it all the time.
Yeah.
I only have but so many give a fucks I'm gonna give out
Exactly.
because I got to have some for me.
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
I do, and I'm only gonna give out but so many.
Right.
Right.
And once I've reached that limit, it's
Exhausted.
like, yeah, I'm like,
Mhm.
no,
Yeah.
I'm out to the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah,
And that's what I was just
you have to
telling,
wait till
you
next
know,
day.
that's what I was just telling my brother before you guys came on. That's why I often let things just roll off my shoulders. It's like you said,
Mhm.
I don't have a lot of energy to exert.
Yeah.
And then once I exert that energy or I get so mad and so pissed off, number one, I'm not going to like what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to like me. You're probably not going to like me.
Mhm.
And then now once I come down, I got to think about what I just did. And I let you get me outside of character. And I don't want
Yeah.
that. You
And
know,
I-
so it's like, no, you know what? You go
Mhm.
ahead.
Mhm.
You go ahead, because karma's gonna eat your ass up.
You know, you do. You have to, you have to do a risk analysis. I do it all the time,
Mhm.
and I think to myself, is that worth it? No,
No. Mm-mm. Now
No.
some people
No.
deserve a good cussing out, a good
Mhm.
one.
Well,
Yeah.
I use a blend of everything that's up here to make sure that I can have a conversation. Even like I was talking with my sister coming here
Good
about
transition.
because I do. I use it.
Yeah.
Literally everything that's up here. I
Mhm.
use this. I use these. I use this, and I'm all out of that. So literally everything that's up here, and then I talk to him. So everything that's up here, I use
You
to
have
be
your
able to be to be functional, so
Yeah.
that, like you said, that I can
And you walk.
and I go exercise and walk 2
Yes,
miles
you
a
do.
day. So
What you
the thing that people need to understand is, one, get your calibrated as you see fit,
Mhm.
Yes.
but you need it to be able to have these conversations that you're avoiding.
Mhm.
The one thing that I have realized since I've done it is I'm able to have tough conversations because I'm
Mhm.
relaxed, and whatever is going to come,
Mhm.
I'm prepared for. So I'm not thinking or overthinking. Now, what are they going to say? Now, if they say this, I wish you would say that. I'll slap the shit. You don't go through that. It's like, this is how I feel. This is what I need to say, and let's keep this thing pushing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So and I set boundaries. Like, so even with my friends of what I don't want to talk about, like, I'm not even trying to hear that right now, man. Like, I don't want to talk about
Mhm.
that. And then they'll come back to it. Hey, man, I said I don't want to talk about it. I had one friend push the politic button on me 3 times.
Mm.
The third time I was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna talk to you later because I said I don't want to talk about that. Oh, all right, man, you were serious? Click. Nigga, yes, I was serious. But it helps me be aware, because at times you can fall into these rabbit holes with people and you're like, how did I get here with
Mhm.
Yes.
and it's just because, like you said, I'm operating from a place where I'm maybe not paying attention to self.
Mhm.
We have to pay attention to self a little bit more and be
Mhm.
accountable of where we're at, so we can deal or not deal with certain things and people
Mhm.
and make a choice, versus having, like in this situation that we read from the messy letter, guilt
Mhm.
that she's absorbing from him, that's coming from his previous relationships, that has nothing to do with her.
Mhm.
So then if I'm at a better place mentally, I can be like, well, this ain't really got
That
nothing
ain't
to
got shit
do
to do with me.
Yeah,
Figure it out.
that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
But when I'm operating from the deficit, which I'm gonna start telling people, you operating from a deficit, get your
Yeah.
shit together.
Mhm.
Because when you're operating from that spot, like you said, the first thing I'm gonna do is please, because abandonment might be a thing
Mhm.
where
Yeah.
she doesn't want to feel that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's terrible,
Yeah.
especially somebody who's so diligent.
And you know
Yeah.
what's funny, in the dating world, we call men like that, or women, because there will be ones that be crying a river, lemony snickets. I don't know if you guys are familiar
Let me
with
what?
lemony snicket.
Oh, I
It's
thought you said let me.
No.
Do. I'm like, what?
It's a children's book about kids that went through a series of unfortunate events.
Uh-huh.
Like no matter
Wow.
what, they just couldn't get it together. Like they were always faced with something, like they were orphans, and every single guardian they came to got killed. And but it was one thing after another, and that's what the books were based on. So in the dating world, we just call those lemony snickets, because you got way
Oh.
too much going on. Go fix that
Wow.
and then come back.
Mm.
Well, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like they need you on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, that's like the system. So you have a victim who finds a person who has empathy with no boundaries. And so when you have empathy and no boundaries, it sets you up for abuse.
Yeah.
So the victim,
That's true.
kind of the person that's showing up is very victimized, y'all gonna be a perfect fit.
And that's what we call toxic.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes in the professional world, nurse.
Right.
So before we get out of here,
Same.
James, if you can give how people can reach out to you, how they can, set up an appointment and stop borrowing my therapy. I'm gonna stop talking to y'all about what the hell goes on in my therapy appointments. Get your own.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
JamesPerkins.help. JamesPerkins.help. You either schedule a consultation or you can book your first appointment straight out the gate.
Sounds good. And Auntie V, drop the knowledge on TV.
Oh,
Go ahead,
honey.
drop it.
Yeah, well, I'm here every 2 weeks. So thehealingconsultant.com. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can do vspencer at thehealingconsultant.com so that we can set up a consultation if you need one.
Is the new video up about the oil on YouTube?
And we gonna,
yes, the new video's up on YouTube.
Please go watch the new video that we just did.
Yes.
It's on YouTube. It's about the Dream City, and it talks about the hemp oil.
Yes, about the hemp oil. And y'all, now
that
we're gonna
oil.
be 10%. Yes, 10% off. Honey.
Yes, for the
it's a
month
new
of
launch.
August.
10% off. It's the bomb.
I
love
sleep
it.
so
Phenomenal.
well after I take a shower and put your hemp oil on. I immediately go to sleep. Immediately.
It's relaxing.
Be careful about putting it on your feet because my feet felt so
Tangle.
good. I damn near fell.
Oh my
I put it on my feet, laid on the couch, stood up, and was like, oh, it was like walking on nothing. Like, not that they were numb, it's just they felt so
Walking on
I was
water.
relaxed. Like, I'm like,
Like
oh,
Peter.
shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
So I put it on my feet.
well, okay, that's a mixed blessing.
It
but okay.
was no, because it felt so good. I wasn't anticipating it. So I'm just laying there like after my shower, put it on, put your legs, put it on your feet like lotion.
Like
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go get some water. And I stood up like, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Said feeling good.
I put it
feeling
on.
good.
I'm used to feeling Fred Flintstone feet. It wasn't like that. So,
Oh yeah, because it'll leave you silky smooth.
Yeah.
And it's a phenomenal moisturizer as
Love
well.
it.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
like 5
Phenomenal.
different types of oil in there.
and it doesn't
So-
take a lot. A dab will do you.
Oh my God, it's fabulous. It is absolutely fabulous. I'm not just saying that because it's not. It's
No, I'm
fabulous.
telling
Yeah,
you,
it
like,
is.
every time I use it, I sleep so well, and I sleep
Yeah.
through the entire night. I don't wake up. I'm not grinding my teeth or anything like that. I just everything is.
Really soft.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say, yes, before we forget, honey, happy National CBD Day tomorrow. Yes, so come visit the Healing Consultant.
Yes.
Get
yes,
your
yes.
groove on. Get that swerve on.
Come on.
And you
Come
got one
on.
more thing because
Oh, yes.
the
'Cause
17th.
Yes, we've got
Mhm.
Mind Body Spirit Expo,
Mhm.
August 17th and 18th.
Mhm.
Boom, booth 234.
And you'll be
Honey,
speaking
come
at
down
what
and see
time?
me. I'll be speaking Saturday
Mhm.
at 1:00,
Mhm.
and it's going to be Pain Shouldn't Be Permanent.
Hello.
Mhm.
Which is,
Ooh, I like
yeah, pain should not be permanent. No. We're going to talk about the topicals.
Mhm.
So, yes, be there. Put them up there.
Mhm. And that oil, baby.
Voila. Woo. Yes, the new edition.
Mhm.
Yes.
We got my own new edition.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Look at that. I can put like 5 up there and be new edition. Now, 5 of them up there and be new edition.
Yes. So please make sure you take
Please do.
care of yourself and
Mhm.
use the resources that we are providing. They gave all their information and use it. And we have, weather permitting,
Mhm.
we will be here tomorrow because, North Carolina is a little funny around this time. It might be sunny at 1 minute and then a hurricane the next.
Mhm.
And allegedly it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow.
Yeah.
They were canceled school for Wake County.
Yeah. So, so hopefully, God willing, we'll be here tomorrow. But if it's raining, we won't. So we'll push it to Friday.
Mhm.
Am I saying it right?
No, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
And God willing, see you tomorrow. TDS
right.
Radio, our voice, our culture. Peace.
Peace.
Oh, not peace. Now peace.